to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the last, well, you're just a big rig these days, Nick Utab.
Glad to be here. It's a wonderful Thursday night with all of you wonderful people.
And speaking of wonderful, we have one more guest, or one more host tonight. Say hello to American Ramrod, Kendo Slice.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
So, folks, we have a lot of stuff to cover. We're going to be celebrating the demise of the Star Wars Star Cruiser, the galactic Star Cruiser that cost an arm and a leg your firstborn, and it wasn't even enough to stay there a full 48 hours. But it's closing. Are you surprised? We're not. We called this shit, a year ago when they announced it? And alas, Disney Star Wars has suffered another massive failure. So, folks, we're going to celebrate that. I'm drinking some alcohol to celebrate the demise of that. We also are going to be talking about a few other topics tonight, including the death of Miss Marvel. We're going to have some fun at the expense of Family X and a whole lot more. Now, folks, we have new buttons tonight, quite a few, so send in your messages and we'll play those new buttons. Believe me, you've never seen anything like these ones on World Class Bullshitters. Now, before we get started into anything official, a few pieces of housekeeping news. Remember, folks, we are going to be at Horror Hound this August. So come to Horror Hound and hang out with us. The date is August 18th through the 20th, 2023 at the Indianapolis Convention Center, which is in Indianapolis, Indiana. The VIP passes are sold out, but you can still get weekend passes. You can come hang out with us. There's a lot of celebrities, but no one's as world class as we are. Now, Nick, nobody new's been added to Horror Hound, but who would be your dream guest to come to this year's show?
Dream guest? Probably, I think it's Sean Cunningham, one of the writer-directors of Friday the 13th.
Ooh, I'd like him.
Yeah, well, that would be cool if he shows up. I mean, if both those guys show up, that'd be great, but I doubt that would happen. They would need like a fucking, I don't know, they would need 100 yards between them or something, I guess, for reasons.
Well, royalty reasons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would like John Carpenter to show up just so we can hang out with him. Kendo, what about you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, let's see. Who would I want to show up to a convention? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know who I'd want to show because I don't know. We've been to a bunch of those. You see famous people, and I don't really get starstruck or like, oh my god, that's so and so. What is this? Blah, blah. It's just, I'm just like, Tara Patrick.
All you're doing is just setting us up to go to AVN in 2024. That's where the WCBs
Well, I figured
will
that could
be.
get us the in.
Yeah.
We talked to him, be like, hey, how's it going? Do you know where the AVNs are going to be? Would you like to be interviewed for our show? Would you like to get us a good word to get us into the AVNs? You know, it would work. Clone Geek, yeah, there you go. OJ Simpson. I would love that. I would pay for the selfie. I'd pay for the meet and greet. I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be like, look, Juice, I've believed you the whole time.
Oh my god.
Oh, man. So, folks, come hang out with us. We'll be there. We'll be promoting Wokebusters. We'll be giving you new looks if you follow us on social media. And if you're a backer of the campaign, you got a new update this week with a look at 3 more pages, and more are coming all the time. Gonna finish that book, have it out to you guys to coincide with the new Ghostbusters film. Wanted to do it for the last one, but hey, guess what? There's another Ghostbusters movie coming, so here come the Wokebusters. So folks, go to wokebusterscomic.com, get yourself a copy. There'll be a trailer soon. There's all sorts of exciting things coming. Like I said, I got an inker, we got a colorist. We've always had a colorist, but I was inking the book myself. So if you're a comic book fan, you know the creative process is penciling, inking, coloring, then lettering, and then it's off to print. Well, because I run this channel, I needed some more time, so we got an inker, and the guy is awesome. So the pages are looking great. You can see the Stay Woke Trigglypuff Man. You can see us. You can see the result, and you can see a whole lot more from Wokebusters. So go over to Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, World Class BS. We're on every platform you can imagine. We're on Twitter. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on social media. Just Google World Class Bullshitters, and you're going to find us. But folks, there's also the Cincinnati Comic Expo in September, so if you're not able to make it to that, or you're not into horror, come hang out with us there. You can get more stuff, exclusive content, and it'll be a lot of fun as well. So guys, it's been a week since we've last met. A lot of stuff has changed. Anything exciting in the world of each of you guys?
Not really.
New Zelda?
Yeah, that's about it for my free time. New Zelda's about it.
Yeah, I've actually been able to play surprisingly, I wasn't expecting to get to play it hardly at all, and I'm getting to play it quite a bit, which makes me happy. And when I get to play Zelda, everybody wins. Like, I took the day off work today because I'm like, I'm gonna stay home and I'm gonna play Zelda all fucking day. And then I found out that she took the day off too. So it's like, fuck. Even when
that defeats the purpose.
Yeah, even when I try to win, I win. She goes, well, now we get to hang out together today. I'm like, I didn't want to hang out with anybody. I took the day off so I could stay home and play the new fucking Zelda game. I would have known you were going to take off today and tomorrow. I would have taken off yesterday. But I did get to spend most of my time playing Zelda today, so I was pretty happy. The baby kid went to the babysitter anyway, and she spent most of her time just redecorating and redesigning his bedroom because he's sort of in the big boy bed now, and that his crib's got the rail off of it, and he's growing up, he's getting bigger, and before you know it, he'll be slaying whores.
Speaking of slaying, say hello to the one, the only Dion Green. He's here, but he can't hear us.
David, boys and girls, children of all ages. What?
Oh, there he
you
is.
hear me?
There he is. Yes. Yeah, we can hear you,
Now
buddy.
we
We can
can
hear you. We can hear you.
You
Can you hear
me.
us?
There you go.
I can hear you. That's why you fucking. I've been in the middle of my goddamn intro, and now I got to start all over again, do the whole fucking thing again. And yes, I can hear you. And that's why I started doing my intro, because I can hear you.
Can you hear me too, Dion? Hello,
Okay,
Dion.
see,
Welcome to
what's
the
wrong?
show.
Thanks,
Quite a bit.
man. It's so good to be back.
Well, we're happy to have you, buddy. We're talking about a disappointing topic tonight. About a year ago, you and I planned on going on a dream vacation to the Star Wars Galaxy Cruiser, your family and mine. And tonight, we're holding a funeral for this failed hotel experience that cost $6,000 for just under 48 hours of an experience. Dion, are you surprised that it happened in record
Hell no.
time?
Listen, $3,000 a night, bitch. And Disney was like, yeah, this will totally be fine, and people will come, and they're all going to love it. Guess what, bitch? They can't afford it. So, no, I'm not surprised.
No. Well, we'll talk about that in just a minute. All you missed so far is we announced that we're going to be at Horror Hound. And, folks, we have some big surprises for the event. I know we're talking about it 3 months out, but we want everyone to show up. Look, if you're thinking, Indianapolis ain't that far, I'll come up and hang out. Believe me, the reason we promote Horror Hound is because it's a much better show. It's not as buttoned up as a comic show where everyone's weird and all positive. It's like, look, you go to some of these comic shows, it's like the embodiment of Twitter. I hate to say it, but you gotta go because you gotta go. And some of the ones I've worked, it's like walking into Twitter. Everyone's like, yay, Captain Marvel's amazing, and you're a bigot. It's like, who the fuck are you talking to? This isn't Twitter. This is the real world. But Horror Hound is free from that shit because everyone's drunk, wants to spend money and party. So come hang out with us, have a drink, buy a copy of the book. It'll be awesome. But yeah. So Dion will be back in just a second. We dropped him because we're so angry. While we're waiting for everything to pick up, let's say hello to everyone in the chat. We have our member Xavier to God. Hail to Xavier to God. Hail to our friend Dr. Coffin Nails. We have John Smith, Dirk McGurkelstein, Matt G, of course. We also have Michael Feshkins, Andrew Stewart, Mr. Wrestling J92. Let's keep on scrolling. James Unchained, Clone Geek, Adama, thank you for joining the channel. Enrique, my buddy, thank you for supporting all you do, my friend. RJ McCready, I'd like to thank you personally for saving humanity from that goddamn alien in the Antarctic. If it wasn't for you, we'd all be walking around with tentacles flying out of our heads and shit. So, RJ McCready, thank you, sir. You are the hero of tonight's show. Also, we're going to give a shout out to TLJ Screwjob for being amazing, as well as Dr. Meatball and more. So, folks, and Sir Georgian, we can't forget you, my friend. So, folks, everyone hit that thumbs up button to let YouTube know that you enjoy us, enjoy the content. And, yeah, again, it's not for our egos. It's for this wonderful computer that controls everything.
Yeah. McCready had to trick the creature in the end to figure out it was actually a creature.
It was his cunning. I mean, he's like, how come your breath doesn't make smoke when it's cold? Here, drink this gasoline.
I like that you've read all the articles I have on the subject.
Bro, you and I are what I like to call scholars of the thing, meaning we've watched the movie more than 10 times and we've actually spent time thinking about it, playing the video games, reading the supplemental material. Yeah. We like it.
Yeah, I've got the board game. I've listened. I think this last Christmas I listened to the commentary again, and just learned a bunch of stuff about it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. It's always a good time. That movie is a cult classic, and if you haven't seen it, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Well, folks, if you haven't seen The Thing, we highly recommend it. We have a world-class bullshitters commentary here on the channel. It's a little old, but it still checks out, and you'll get the progenitor of Aquarium Jeff, where I'll be right. We're gonna call that Scream Jeff. I'll be right back, and I never come back. So, if you want to listen to that, have fun with that.
The good old days. I'm gonna use the bathroom, and then he never returned.
I was Poochie, or I was the guy from fucking Quantum Leap, and he never made it home again.
Oh my God.
Dion, how sad would that be if I was like, I'm going to the bathroom, and you never heard from me again?
I'd be fucking heartbroken, man.
How would you tell D2 I died? Like, yeah, Uncle Jeff went to the bathroom, and we just don't know what happened to him after that.
He died doing what he loved.
Taking a shit.
Walking off the broadcast.
Walking off the broadcast.
I'd like to think that if I went missing after going to the bathroom, it would scar a certain portion of the audience. Like, man, I can't look at a toilet the same way again. Whatever happened to Jeff?
Yeah, because that would be a thought. It's like, did it just suck him in? Did something happen and just like he just left because
he went down the hole? Fucking Tiny Toons. So, folks, we have a lot to talk about, but, we're world-class bullshitters. We like to have fun in the process. So I want to ask you guys, am I the only one drinking on tonight's show? I thought I would kick back with some booze to lighten the mood and have a little fun.
Yeah, because I'm going to go to a friend's potluck this weekend and get really smashed. So that's my plan. Prepare. Yeah, I got to prepare.
Yeah, well, no, I stayed in all day, so I've got no booze that I know of that I can consume in the house because I didn't go out to buy any.
Well, it's just me. I'll be the wine mom of the night. So
the wine mom of the night.
Oh, don't worry, you're not the only one drinking. Shit. I mean, don't worry, dog. You ain't alone.
Thank God. Alexander the Great had 10 beers earlier. Oh, hell yeah, man.
Well, speaking of which, I know Dion didn't see this before we started, so one more time.
Oh yeah, this is beautiful, folks.
For everybody in the back, let's see this. Let's turn on the camera. Okay. Went to Jack Daniels, the Lynchburg distillery this weekend, and got the Frank Sinatra Select bottle for us to drink at Horror Hound. It's gonna be cracked open at Horror Hound. So, oh God, this thing's fucking huge. Comes a little book and everything. Yeah, that's nice. Oh,
here's the best part, Dion.
Oh fuck! Yeah, that's dope. That is dope.
So you can kind of focus in, but yeah, you can kind of read it. It has our names on it. The first episode we ever did. Yeah, they were really apprehensive about me doing that. Like, oh, we can't put any bad words. I was like, listen, it just is BS. It's 2 letters. Yeah. It's not like I'm saying anything horrible. It's just 2 letters.
Yeah. It stands for the Brian Seltzer Orchestra. We're big fans.
And folks, once that bottle has been consumed by us, you will have the opportunity to buy that from us. And it is extremely collectible, and it's limited to only just the one that exists. So take full advantage of the exorbitant price that you'll be expected to pay.
That's fucking true.
You could get 1 weekend at the Galactic Star Cruiser or a lifetime of enjoyment out of this empty Jack Daniels bottle. Yeah. It's up to you.
Now, the question you need to ask yourself is, are you willing to engage in a bidding war? Because we would encourage you to do so, because that's the only way to really test how much of a man you really are, is by out-dueling somebody. Or more than one somebody's. We don't know what's going to happen. There could be a lot of big fans there. Are you the biggest fan? I think you are. Prove it.
I believe in you.
Yeah, but that will get cracked open at Horror Hound for us to drink. So
it's going to be a classy event, guys.
It's gonna be fucking classy.
Especially on Saturday. Holy shit, with the Jack and everything we got planned for that day. And by the way, folks, one last mention of Horror Hound. When you come up, if you buy anything from the table, and remember, I'm selling art. I'm not going to be selling WCBS stuff. This is going to be, we're going to have WCBS stuff, but I'm going to bring some new prints. I'm getting back into the convention scene as an artist. And anytime you buy something, folks, you can come hang out and get your picture taken with the Proton Pack. We'll have a full-scale Proton Pack in honor of Wokebusters, and come take a picture with the Wokebusters. Guys, it'll be like that scene in Ghostbusters 2 at the courthouse, where they're all dressed up and they got the Proton Packs. That'll be us on Saturday.
I'm all right with that.
Like I said, it's going to be a classy event. And speaking of events, this show is an event itself because we have, besides the Star Wars news to laugh at, the first reviews of Indiana Jones 5 are out. We have some fun games. We have brand new buttons that we're going to press, and a whole lot more. So one last time, folks, hit that thumbs up button to let YouTube know that you enjoy this WCBS content. Now, should we start early? Usually we wait to like check in with the audience, and I know we normally like to keep a schedule, but I really want to share one of these new buttons. So,
Please do it.
Dion, what should we do? Let's do it. All right, let's check in with the audience real quick, and then we'll start tonight's show. So first off, from our friend Joseph Bienowicz, we have the word of the day. It's a hyphenated word. It's fun bags. Martha Stewart got fun bags. Hot tub fun bags machine. Fast and fun bags. Fun bag bandits. Smokey and the fun bags. And meet the fun bags family. Yeah, you got me at Smokey and the Fun Bags. I want a fucking t-shirt with that on it. All right, guys, so Thor, the Dark Fun Bags. That's my first title.
Fistful of fun bags.
Oh, God, yes.
12
fun bags more.
12 angry fun bags.
So you got 6 pissed off women? What did you do, bro? How do you piss off 6
50-foot fun bags?
These days, Jeff, it's real easy.
That's true.
Just look in the direction and say, "Excuse me, ma'am," and it'll just happen.
Dude, you're not wrong.
Maybe last will hard a fucking hiccup.
I just hope you don't get hiccups nonstop. I hate when that shit happens. You're like, God damn it, I'm going to hold my breath. It just never works. So, folks, what are some other fun bag titles that you got? Let's see if anyone else in the chat's playing right now. Dean H says The Hunt for red fun bags. Well, you like Native American women, no problem. Stop or my fun bags will shoot. So you like pregnant women. Oh yeah, this is gonna be on Her Majesty's Secret fun bag, says Dookie12. There
Pretty
we
much
go.
how that movie was.
Dude, that's George Lazenby's life. Hey, how you doing? Hi, fun bags. And then I'm surprised no one got pregnant on that movie. Aren't you?
They might have. They just, hit the abort button.
The 60s were different.
Or Lazenby has like 2 or 3 kids he doesn't know about.
Right.
That's also possible
too.
Yeah.
I'm half Aussie.
Do you think Mel Gibson has a bunch of unwanted children out there?
That's a goddamn movie.
Yeah, I'd like to think so too.
When you toss out sugar tits so liberally, you definitely have a couple kids out of wedlock.
I hope somebody sends in sugar tits as the word of the day next week, because we'll have a lot of fun with that one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Carlito's Fun Bags. That's a great one, Cosmic Vader. That was a great one right there. Saving Private Fun Bags. What up, Noah R?
This one's a little weird. Don't tell mom the fun bags are dead. I guess somebody's into necrophilia.
Well, remember, folks, we don't kink shame on this channel unless your kink is kink shaming. Then you're a sick fuck. But until then, no judgment. By the way, folks, let's give a shout out. We have tons of fans. We've hit another milestone of 183,000 subscribers, but our very first super fan, Noah R, is here in the chat. So, folks, give some love to Noah R. We
I like
remember
Chris
you, buddy.
R better.
Yeah, but he's
You don't
also
want
a
to cross
dick.
him though.
Yeah, where's that fucking money?
Yeah, you better. And if you run into Chris R, you better take care of things post haste because he doesn't have 5 fucking minutes.
No, he doesn't. That's sad. I know time is a valuable commodity, but sometimes we should stop and smell the roses. That's my advice to give
Or
Chris
occasionally
R.
peer over the side of a tall building.
Yeah, or stop and smell the fun bags.
Stop it.
Hopefully they smell like lavender or something nice. Or a strip club. One of the two. I'm happy with that.
Strip clubs don't smell nice, Jeff. They just smell.
Well, that's true. But like strippers all smell like cotton candy and glitter. So if the
Do you
fun
want to
bags
know?
smell like
Do you want to know what regret smells like? Go into a strip club and just take a big whiff. That's what regret smells like.
Listen, you ain't lying. You are not lying, sir. Especially if they're a strip club that has white women in it. Woo.
Oh, are we back in New
Some of
Orleans?
us are
All
more
right.
susceptible than others.
Let's be honest. None of us are immune to the stripper fun bag. So Dion, don't feel bad.
Good.
They just picked you out of the crowd. They're like, "Hey, you like white women, right? Yeah. Come on in. We got them." Well, fuck.
I will forever never forget that fucking that whole situation. Oh my god.
Classic. I will always associate New Orleans with that memory.
Yeah, and we've been to New Orleans multiple times as friends, Dion, and that second trip was just, folks, like, if you can imagine the best trip possible, that was New Orleans 2018. Like, there's never been a more fun time that the four of us got together. I mean it. Like, we've had great times at conventions, we've had great times at weddings, we've had great times at funerals, but nothing was better than the trip to New Orleans 2018, man. We got to go back. Now that the pandemic's over, the world's opened up, we have a lot more free time. Kids are old enough to, I won't say stay at home, but you know what? You don't have
They
to
go
bring
to fucking
Dion.
grandma's house for a week.
Oh, yeah.
I might not come back. Remember me as I was.
Remember me as I
Pop was
was,
fucking
not as you found me.
Well, if you got to go with a smile. So
That's right.
how much happier can you be than in New Orleans?
That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
And a strip club with white women in it. Come on.
I went to this really janky strip club in Vegas with my cousin, and you know what? That's a story best told off air, so we'll just move on from that one.
I feel like everyone's got one questionable strip club story. Mine was in Jackson, Michigan. So,
You know,
there's that.
I once watched a friend get a really shitty tattoo in Jackson, Michigan. Actually, two shitty tattoos. One, Toph got a Super Mario tattoo, but he didn't take care of it right, and it like stuck to his shirt and fucked it all up. So that was that.
Oh, that's weird.
That sounds very
And then-
on brand for Toph.
Well, speaking of being on brand, bro, remember Curtis Lindenfield, our good friend, got an Admiral Akbar tattoo that said "It's a trap" underneath it.
Yes, he did.
On a dare.
Yes, he did. And he got a Charlie Sheen one, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, and I designed like two of his tattoos. I'm proud that my art will live on forever on someone's body, but I wish the other tattoo choices were better. Now, if we ever find somebody with a WCBS tattoo, I'm sorry, you'll become super fan. Adam Shawhan understands, so.
Damn right.
Now, real quick, we want to give another shout out to our friend Derek N. He says, you guys are doing awesome. You've been kicking ass for years now, still listening, and gave us a thumbs up. Derek, thank you very much for all the years of support. We appreciate that, and we're happy you're here hanging out with us on another wonderful Thursday night. Now, back to the audience. We also have our friend Georgian, who says, RIP to the best part of the Galactic Star Cruiser, the box truck transporter. I don't even know much about the Galactic Star Cruiser, but we're going to talk a little more about that tonight. We even have a Galactic Star Cruiser button, guys. That's how prepared we are for tonight's show. So, folks, be ready for that. Now, our friend Enrique Vasquez says, Hail WCBS, Tears of the Kingdom is awesome. Sorry, guys, the Star Cruiser is closing. I know Jeff and Dion wanted to go. Number 23, please.
Damn right we did.
Well, he wanted a number 23 button. We got some new buttons. What's a good number 23? Ah, here we go.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one.
Fantastic.
You did it. I fucking love it.
Well, originally I was like gonna just have another one, and I was like, wait a second, there's a green screen version. We can have way more fun with this. So,
Oh my god.
thank you to Enrique. Yes, man, Zelda's great. Kendo's farther than I am. I haven't beaten a single temple or dungeon. I am just kind of trying to fit in some time here and there. I'm going to go get the Hylian shield because I accidentally saw an article telling where it is, and I went, oh, I should go get that. Because
Where is it?
it's the same place it was in the last game. You got to get to the castle. But they
I
tell
don't
you...
feel like fucking around in the castle.
I know. You got to go to the moat underneath it and shit, but... Look, I hated the design of Link in this game, like the clothing, not the actual Link. And so I sold everything I could at the beginning of the game just to get out of that stupid Roman outfit, because I was like, Link looks like a weird dude running around in, leather sandals and a dress. That's really not how I want to go on an adventure to save all of time in reality. So I know, I'm a bad person, but that's just me. But other than that, really the game is awesome. And folks, highly recommend you check it out.
Oh, yeah. I've been exploring. Also, Jeff, would you like an easy hack on how to get Epona?
Yes, I would.
So do you have your Breath of the Wild game save on your Switch?
Yes, sir, I do.
Did you have Epona there?
I did not. My horse was named Dion's Gay.
Okay. Well, so I found out on accident, because I tamed a couple of horses and took them to the stables here, that they just transfer your horses over, because I have a very dark colored horse that I named Blackie, who I forgot about, that he is in this game, as is my Epona. So there you go.
I have my favorite horse from the last game was called My Boy Blue. So because it's a blue horse, and I'll scream, "Man, you're my boy Blue," because I'm bored. But yeah, Dion. Honestly, last Zelda game I started naming the horses after you, and I captured a new one. It's called Dion EB2, which stands for Dion 2 Electric Boogaloo. So
Nice.
Love it.
it's a good horse, man. And I was really sad when it fell off a cliff and died.
Well, that's
I'm
not how I thought
joking.
that was going to end, but no, yeah, I hope he's a good one.
That reminds me of my first horse on Red Dead 2 that I named Dion, that got hit by the train.
Folks, if you have an
I'm-
object
I'm
that can die in a video
I'm
game,
dying
name Dion.
star.
I felt really bad about that too. I was riding along, and all of a sudden I turned, and there's this train, and it just fucking whacked Dion right across the face, and he just crumpled there in a heap. I'm like, oh shit! Now how am I
Well,
going to
I
get
just
another
love
fucking
how your
horse?
treatment of your horse's name Dion reflect your treatment of real life Dion. Because there have been multiple times where you turn around and then you turn back and look at me and I'm gone. So clearly, I think because
there's a white woman in the corner.
Yeah.
right? Falling off of cliffs are my next evolution.
Well, to be fair, I was kind of unhappy that my horse Dion got hit by the train.
Yeah, and I didn't intentionally kill that horse. I was getting chased by moblins, and I went to jump off my horse and do a backflip and shoot the bow and arrow, and the horse just kept going off the cliff, and I'm like, well, fuck, there it goes. So we try to preserve the legacy of Dion. We just sometimes we can't.
Gosh darn, what a coinka fucking dink.
I
All right, you know what? I'm going to go find a new horse, and I'm going to name it Dion and take him back to the stable and just board him, and he can live there his whole life. Safe.
Yep. And then he's gonna get airstruck or something. Like, oh damn, I turned around. Goddamn, Gandalf went for what I loved more. Guess it was in the game. It was my fucking horse.
Well, to be fair, in this game,
Yet
there
again,
are
you just let me
sort of
fucking die.
airstrikes in that shit falls out of the ceiling, falls out of the sky every now and then.
Yeah, well,
That's my favorite part
Yes,
about
they
it is
got
the
a lot.
randomness.
Yeah. So as long as it doesn't rain down on the stable, I think Dion, the horse, should be fine.
Dion the
So I
horse will
guess-
get electrocuted.
So are in all of our movies, am I gonna die some crazy death than everyone?
No, there'll just be a horse
no.
named Dion that
No,
dies
no,
a
all
crazy
that's all
death
the
in
no,
every one of
no,
them.
no, Dion. I'm gonna say I'm gonna have to die in the movie because I have to, direct you fuckers. So
No, that's
I can't be in the
fair.
movie the whole time.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. Either I'm gonna die in the first 15 minutes to avenge my death, or I'm just an ancillary character that like shows up at the end for no reason.
To be fair, nobody really wants to avenge your death.
Thanks, Kendo. Love you too, buddy.
I'll
I'd be
never
very
forget.
upset. That should be the driving force for my revenge plot in the rest of the film, actually.
The bad
My
guy
black
killed
ass.
Nick. Kendo, what are you gonna do? I don't know. Go get something to eat.
I'm upset. When I get upset, I get hungry. What do you want from me?
I mean, revenge is not gonna bring Nick back.
But a double cheeseburger with bacon, it'll make us feel bad.
Yes.
Don't
As
talk
it's-
about food this early.
as it says in the scripture, living well, that's the best revenge. I'm going to go live really well and not worry about the guy that killed Nick.
The name of our film is called Live Well or Die Hard, the story of Nick Utah. He's gone.
Oh god.
We're gonna make We're gonna make movies, folks. Don't worry. We're too good to not.
Oh man.
We'll read one more super chat because it's the perfect way to transition into our big topic. Well, one of our many topics for tonight. Shrubbles08 says, I'll take a random Star Wars button and you get what you fucking deserve motorcycle. Well, we're going to give you the motorcycle first and then we're going to use our new Star Wars button to transition. So, where is you get what you deserve? Right here.
Get what you fucking deserve!
Oh my gosh!
And here we go, folks. It's time to talk about the Star Wars Galactic Cruise.
We lost something.
Damn right.
Fucking
Yeah.
button for that.
Yeah. About
Thank you.
$2.5 billion what you fucking lost.
They're never going to recoup those losses.
Nope.
It's like that scene in The Office where Kevin spills the pot of chili and he keeps trying to scoop it back in and he starts to slip in it and he just doesn't know what to do. That's Disney with Star Wars. It's like, hey, we spent $4 billion plus an additional $2 billion on a theme park and another $1 billion on a hotel. What are we going to do? Close it in a year? Because come on. Look, if you guys would, we'll talk about it, but if they would have just done the original trilogy and you could have spent a night on the Millennium Falcon, you could have charged double that and fucking people from every country on the planet would be like, I'm staying in the Millennium Falcon. We all would have wanted that. But nobody wants this generic bullshit.
I don't know. Yeah, the Millennium Falcon thing I think would have been a little weird. You could have done like Coruscant or something like that.
No, that sounds stupid. I'd rather stay on the Millennium Falcon.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, can you think about the four of us staying together in the Millennium Falcon? I mean, we'd have to like pretend it was flying somewhere because after like an hour and a half, we'd be like, so what exactly are we going to do? We could keep playing this fucking board game all day right here, or, trying to stop from getting shot by this little flying around droidy thingy with our glow stick here. But it's pretty much all there is to it. It's like, well, you could sit in the one section and watch Star Wars movies on repeat. Oh, so we paid to just watch Star Wars movies on repeat. Gotcha. Okay. I feel like there'd have to be something more.
The one bar that is iconic throughout all of fucking Star Wars lore, fucking Mos Eisley, man. Like, what are we doing here?
We didn't have the hive of scum and villainy epitomized in the real world,
Embodied
in the real world. That's a mistake on their part.
Yeah,
There's
we can
a lot
go.
of those
We
actually
go to
in the
Mos
real world.
Eisley. Go to Mos Eisley and pick up some Twi'leks. There we go.
I mean, hell
Pick
yeah.
up something else. You get some space.
I don't know if I
STDs
want
up
to
in
do
there.
with
Yeah.
Tatooine Twi'leks, but
Herpes.
I'm sure we can make some adjustments.
Yeah, you might want to make many adjustments because your space stick will fall off if you mess with some Tatooine
I
Twi'leks.
am not gonna portmanteau that one.
Yeah, you better not. Your Spinus. There you go.
Yes. Your splong.
There aren't a lot of things we try not to say on this show, but, well, you know what we're trying to avoid because we're not going to cross that line.
Nope.
We're just not about that. We're about many other crazy things like, well, white women on the streets, but just not that. No racism. So let's give you guys the official story on the Star Wars Star Cruiser. So here we go. Let's talk about this. Disney World Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, a 2-day hotel experience, is closing and will make its final voyage this September after being open for only more than a year. The experience blends elements of the company's resort, cruise line, and theme park into a 48-hour romp in space. First teased during Disney's D23 Expo in 2019, the Galactic Star Cruiser locale, located near the company's Orlando, Florida-based Disney World Resort, opened in March of 2022, and as of this recording, it's only May of 2023. The voyage costs around $1,200 per person per day, with family packages reaching closer to $6,000 for the 2-day excursion. That could be a hard number to digest, no shit, especially considering a typical Disney vacation for a family of 4 can cost that much for a week-long trip, depending on hotel and restaurant choices. However, the Galactic Star Cruiser has been lauded as a dream come true for fans looking for the ultimate Star Wars experience. The 2-day jaunt included, a hotel room, all food and drink except alcohol, and a specialty beverage, a day trip to the Hollywood Studios park, a magic band, and a valet service at drop-off. Now hold on a second. You get a day at the Hollywood Studios park which means you don't spend that time in the Galactic Star Cruiser. So you're paying through the nose to just go to the park?
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
I wonder if you still have to wait in line for all the rides of the Star Wars section. Like, or do you just get the VIP pass and you can go as like often as you want? Like,
look, I knew these people who once did the VIP Disney package back at like 10 years ago. It was like $20,000 for all this like front of the line access and all this other shit. And it's like, god damn, Disney is expensive. I don't, it's nothing to do with disliking their movies, but I just don't see the appeal of spending that much to go to Disney World. Like, Dion, you have a family. Would you drop $6,000 on this?
Fuck no. Now and don't get me wrong. Like, even if I had, if I had straight up fuck you money too, if I'm spending that much money, you want something out of it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have no problem spending that much money on something, right? If I'm going with my friends and my family, obviously, this is one of those, hey, it's going to be a core memory type shit. But, that park, there's only two things that explain that shit. One being, it was never intended for the actual fan base. It was never intended for the moms and pops of the world who love Star Wars. It was never for us, right? That was always intended for the uber rich. That was always intended for people who had a lot of fuck you money and not a lot of ideas of what to do with it. The only second other option is that this was intended to fail. There's no way, and don't get me wrong. I mean, we lived through COVID, so we saw that rich people lost their fucking minds and they see the world a lot differently than how the rest of us see it. So I can somewhat see a fucking gap in common sense there. But $3,000 a night, bitch? There is no universe, even the few super rich people that I've ever met, that would ever be like, yeah, if we want people to come, we'll make it $3,000 a fucking night. Like, that's insane. Especially when you're trying to market this property that you paid $4 billion for as something for everyone. Like, that's, I the only thing that comes to my mind is it was either a complete fuck up or they never intended it to be successful. They wanted to have that out there. They blew $1 billion putting this shit together, and then, yeah, man, see, these resort things don't work because we built one and people never showed up. I highly doubt that in the wrap up meeting, once that shit has been officially closed, they're gonna say, maybe $3,000 a fucking night, bitch, was not a good idea.
No, it wasn't, and greed got the best of them. Gordon Gekko was wrong. Greed isn't good. Well, that's not exactly what he says, but Disney's greed with Star Wars was stupid. Star Wars isn't a property like, Dion, I'll just speak to us and Kendo, because Nick's not as big into the wrestling, but like, you can tell the difference between the Star Wars demographic and the wrestling demographic. Star Wars is going to be a little more educated, a little a higher income bracket, certain things like that. And it's not to shit on wrestling, because we're lifelong diehard fans. But my point is, it's a big difference. And even this, it was just so far out of the reach of anybody. Like you said, it's for the super rich or it's for the super desperate. Now, I actually did know somebody who went to do this event. I didn't talk about it because they were one of the people that was there to test it out for a job. So I had heard about this. And even then, he was telling me about some of the dilemmas and issues they had with this park. So there was always a little bit of behind-the-scenes drama around this, but it was never really made public. And now it's closed, so it doesn't matter. But this is just I guess it's another example of overdoing the IP, because people think, oh, the brand is what's powerful. The brand is what gets people here. Yes and no, because this is a Star Wars branded hotel, but even at this price, I think people would spend more money if it was original trilogy. And I know some people are going to say, oh, it's so boring to keep saying it. But there are more fans of that have been around longer that wouldn't mind. Oh my God, I can go live on the Death Star for a weekend? That would have made
and
money
it's
back.
Your first fucking resort. I understand, and this is to your point, Jeff. Why in the fuck would you do anything other than original trilogy? And listen, I as the older that I get, the older that my children get, I've garnered a little bit more compassion for the sequel trilogy apologists. I mean, if it's something that you like, whatever, I can somewhat see an attachment to it. But the first fucking resort that you have as a fucking worldwide business, and you choose the shit that everyone was split on, that's what you went with. That's just I don't understand that. And hopefully as the years go on, we kind of hear the fallout. I can't, and as a person that, it's a small corner of corporate America, shit like that, people get fired over. You are not, and that's why the only other thing that I can think of is that this was intended to fail. But you don't spend that much money on a resort, and you already have performers and all this shit, and you price 90% of your audience out from day one, and then you pick the portion of the property that you bought that not everyone loves the original fucking trilogy. I mean,
Agreed.
Scenes from those movies are in AFI's Hall of Fame essentially, and you choose the shit that Instagram got upset about. That's what you went with for $3,000 a night, bitch? Get out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here. That's in. I can't imagine multiple people when that shit shuts down. I can't help but think that multiple people are gonna lose their fucking jobs over that shit. That's crazy. And whoever listened to it and okayed it should lose their fucking job. $3,000 a night, bitch, for some bullshit sequel Star Wars stuff that clearly no one went to, outside of people who didn't have shit else to do and had $6,000 to fucking burn.
I'm just trying to, and I want you guys to think about this for a minute. I'm asking everybody, including the chat, but I'm trying to think of a pop culture related experience like this that I would spend this kind of money on for this amount of time. Like, I really can't, because a lot of the things I like are set in the real world. So it's like, oh man, you can go stay at the Spider-Man hotel. So I'll just go to New York City. Oh man, you can go do stuff from Back to the Future. I'll just go to Universal Studios lot. Oh, you can do this or that. It's like they're paying $6,000 to play a fucking video game. Your Nintendo's $300, and you look, it's a joystick and a button. This is like an arcade from the 80s. Not that the arcade from the 80s are bad, but this is 2022 at the time of this video. Like, I want full immersion. I want to go put on an Oculus headset. I want to be fucking lightsaber dueling Darth Vader for hours. I want to train like a Jedi. I want to drink alcohol.
But like, that's what they should have done. They should have done like the Jedi Training Academy like for 2 days, and you actually go through like, some of the training, and even then you can opt in to actually battle somebody, in like a safety fucking arena or something like that. That would have been cool. And then all of you, and then like, you have like the dark side and the light side, and everybody can go like eat or have drinks at Mos Eisley. Like you could have done something like that. It would have been fucking great. You could even introduce fucking pod racing as well. Make that a thing. Make that a competition as well. You can, challenge somebody to a pod race. Like, do a bunch of shit, man. You can do so much shit with this IP from the first movies or the prequel trilogy or whatever, and actually make it fun and good for the $3,000 a night, bitch, that Dion keeps mentioning, and make it actually worth it, because we read the itinerary when we saw it online, and it was like arts and crafts and bullshit, man. Like, it was terrible. And the fact I really fucking hate
$3,000 a night, bitch.
Thank you, Dion.
I gotta put that on a fucking t-shirt. You've said it like 10 times. I got it. The front would be like a gravestone that says the Star Cruiser, and then the back will say $3,000 a night, bitch.
Every time he says it, I love it. Oh god. But it's one
I
of
want
those
$1
things...
for every time he says it.
I know, but it's one of those things where it's like, if we were all like drunk out of our minds, we could come up with a better fucking like hotel than these assholes did. And they've been fucked up with the whole Star Wars area of Disney. They made it the sequel trilogy that nobody wanted. It's just like you keep fucking up, and then you keep wondering why you're fucking up. Like, it's dumb. It's retarded.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder could have seen this coming from a mile away. It's so obvious that the newer stuff just doesn't work. And it never has, and it never will. But Jeff, it made money at the box office. Did it, though? Because it cost $350 million to make the first one, and it got more expensive as they got to The Rise of Skywalker. So it's like, oh yeah, you're posting $1 billion gross, but your movie probably cost, what, $800 million to make and market because it's 2.5 times the production budget. So it's like, wait, this is just a bottomless pit. And this is right after Bob Iger's like, we need to do things that are more profitable. We need to focus on profit instead of, just making things to make things. This is the result of Disney fucking around for like a decade. Oh, we got theme park money. Then you don't have theme park money, and this is what happens. So I'm not surprised, honestly.
Well, yeah, man, and the you can't have a property and you're standing in two worlds at the same time. You can't want everyone to love it, but also you can't be making it in mind to drain your fan base dry. And this, everything, and to those people that are going to tell you, oh, well, they made a profit. Well, how's that Great Jedi thing coming along? How's Rian Johnson's trilogy coming along? They went and they seduced those two motherfuckers from Game of Thrones to come and do a Star Wars movie. How's that going? You can point. You can fucking Star Wars Rebels. When's the next season of that bitch coming out? What did they bring back? Oh, they brought back fucking Clone Wars. You mean the thing that was around before Disney got it? That thing? Oh, okay.
The thing that came to a logical ending?
Yep. Oh, they brought up Ahsoka, a pre-existing fucking character. Like you can't if you spend and people like that say that don't understand how much money that is. If you agree to a $4 billion deal for a property, you don't buy it to make barely $1 billion as a blockbuster. You don't buy it for that. Not only just to Jeff's point, but you want it to go nuclear. You want it to be what it was in the 70s and 80s. You want it to be what it was in the 90s when they had re-releases and people lost their fucking minds. You want everyone to want to go and give you their money without any hesitation. And you make the movies, and they're all over the place, so much so that you barely get the third one done. Not that you barely get it fucking done, but you have a handful of moments that become a fucking joke. Your movies were so bad, people are now saying shit like, well, Jar Jar Binks wasn't that bad. That's a real fucking thing that people are doing. Don't get me wrong, everyone was not okay how Jake Lloyd and what's his name, the guy that played, no one was ever okay with that shit. But make no motherfucking mistake, nobody would be calling for Darth Jar Jar if the sequel movies are fucking good. Do you know what the world would fucking be like if The Force Awakens 1 had a better name and was a good fucking movie? Disney would be swimming in fucking money, and they're not. Their resort is closing at $3,000 a night, bitch, and you mean to tell me that they're happy with it, that this is going where it's supposed to be fucking going? Get the fuck out of here. They wanted to make these bullshit movies. It's just name brand. They'll buy the shit. It didn't work. So they pick some goofy motherfucker who plays with Saturn trophies and is sensitive on Twitter, who subverts the whole thing just for the sake of subversion. And then you bring the first dude back to wrap this shit up and hope that your fans are too fucking stupid to fall for, well, somehow Dark Sidious returned. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
Remember when we were at Celebration and we heard the Emperor's laugh in the trailer and we were just like, is this really fucking happening?
Well, and that's the thing that people want. They act like that was some great moment. They were talking about it this year at Celebration. And I was like, bitch, I was there. Obviously, you had people that were cheering, but the vast majority of the fucking crowd was like, oh. No one was excited for that shit. And we were there all weekend. No one was excited for that shit. But, these motherfuckers swear up and down. And don't get me wrong, fan bases have fucking toxic fan, but we're talking about wrestling. That shit's fucking crazy. But to keep blaming this shit on the bitch, if what you're saying is true, 2 more movies wouldn't have failed, and they failed because they didn't make that much motherfucking money. Not to mention the fact that they made less than The Force Awakens. If what you're saying is true, everyone who thinks like you would have spent $3,000 a night, bitch, but you didn't. because it wasn't worth it. And why is it not worth $3,000 a night for your raggedy ass parents to not take you to Star Wars, whatever the fuck this is? Because it sucked. This shit isn't, it's not rocket science. We're not talking about Kathleen Kennedy overseeing the building of a new spaceship, motherfucker. You make a movie people want to see, they give you their money. What are we talking about here? And you made a resort that's $3,000 a fucking night, and you thought people were going to go to that shit, and it's based on the shitty movies? Come on, man. There has to be an explanation for this shit. It has to be.
Besides stupidity and greed and just, a dogmatic belief in what they're doing is always right and the fans are wrong. Outside of that, I don't know what it could be.
Well, do you remember the drink they had in their the Carnival Cruise that was like $500?
Oh yeah, that's fucking crazy. There's no way that they were like, yeah, this is gonna make us a bunch of fucking money. It was made for the uber rich, which everyone out there that's clipping this shit and getting pissed at us ain't you. Or two, they intended this to fucking fail. There's no way that even a rich asshole would be like, yeah, Star Wars fans would pay for a $500 shitty drink. That's not real. That can't be fucking real. And if you have that much faith in a group of dumb motherfuckers who did this many dumb motherfucking things, well, then this is the franchise for you, baby. You should go ahead and go to your bank, ask for a $6,000 loan, and go to fucking Star Wars, whatever the fucks, and tell me how awesome it is. This motherfucker can't even get this shit working.
Give him the hydro spanner. No, it's like you're paying for a Star Wars experience that's not even a Star Wars experience.
Yeah, exactly. It's dumb. It's dumb.
I don't think people that make entertainment anymore understand that we all gravitate towards characters that we can relate with. We don't have to look like them. We don't have to think like them or even act like them, but they do stuff that makes us relate. And they took that away. Everything's just homogenized. And, well, it looks like Star Wars. But like we've been saying since 2015, this shit doesn't feel like Star Wars. It feels off. It feels wrong. And this goes to prove it. This is just another validation for the shit that Disney, the people that don't like Disney Star Wars have been saying for years. This goes to validate that point of view. If we were wrong, if we were these terrible people, if we were the small vocal minority that they used to call us on the internet, this thing would have broken every record. There would not be brand new Star Wars The Last Jedi toys showing up on retail shelves today because they couldn't sell them 6 years ago, None of these things would be happening. We would all be eating crow as everyone was out there celebrating Rey and Finn and Kylo Ren and Poe Dameron and all the other assholes in the new Star Wars movie. But no, we're watching the end of an era of bullshit. We're watching the death of something that's $3,000 a night, bitch. And look at this. For $3,000 a night, I expect to be in the fifth fucking element. I don't want to see a fucking roadie and DJ and this chick dressed in cosplay. I want to see that blue chick in front of a fucking starfield giving me opera music. Whatever this shit is, with a guy with a bass. This looks like a shitty nightclub that you would go to in LA. This doesn't look like a $10,000 or a $6,000 a night experience, bitch.
Like, I want to see a motherfucking space battle. I want to be able to fly a goddamn X-Wing. If I want to have a goddamn saber fight, at least go hire a goddamn fencing instructor or some shit, and then hire a fucking, some dude that teaches kickboxing out in Orlando and put motherfuckers through a workout. $3,000 a night, bitch. And they're playing probably Shakira or some shit. It's just it's a corporate version of it, right? And it's just, and they just don't understand it. Like, don't get me wrong, of course there are sexist and racist people out there in the world. I hate to break it to you, but life ain't a motherfucking Disney movie. But
thankfully,
the issue that they had with these movies was everything was just calculated, and everything was like, we're gonna put this here for that reason because people like it, not because we think it's a good character or a good part of the movie or a great addition to the franchise. We're going to put this shit here because people just love chicks, and if you don't like chicks, you're sexist. Or, dude, we're going to fucking... I don't care, bro. It's the future. You don't like black people. in your Star Wars, you're racist, even though we're not going to put them on our poster for China, but I swear to you that you're the racist one, not a, like all of that shit was calculated. And then they tried to make a fucking resort about it for uber rich people. Like you can't, like who in their right mind would go along with that? You know, that's such a weird corporate way of look. Like that is how executives at Disney see you. That's how executives at Disney see your day to day. You know, you don't want something of quality. You don't want something that you're familiar with but still amazes you. You want something name brand. You want something expensive. You don't want something good. You want something that you can say, "Hey, I went and did that." You know, and that's how Disney sees us. That's how these people see the fan base. You're not a part of this. You just give me your money when I ask for it, bitch. $3,000 a night. Pony up. You know.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at you
know, and that's
and
fucking
Ray.
yeah, man. And you can get Kelly Marie Tran and Daisy Ridley to say whatever the fuck, but you know, they're not that. And this definitely wasn't $3,000 a night, and they expected your Star Wars loving ass to pony up for it.
And the thing is,
you know, there's no other explanation for that. There's no way that Kelly Marie Tran can cry on Instagram and explain that. Daisy Ridley getting rid of social media doesn't explain that shit. No matter how you put it, you sitting in the room with the person you love, with whatever kids you have, how many times your friends have seen you throw up, they think that you would just give $3,000 a night, bitch, for that. And if that's not the most insulting thing, you know, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, you know, for people out there, if they're okay with that, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, you're just that person. You know, you are what people who are bad in this world call a fucking mark. Because that was a con.
Mm-hmm.
A $3,000 a night con, bitch. And they expected you to fall for it. Whether you fell for it is irrelevant. They expected you to fall for that shit. For some $3,000 a night, a $500 fucking pint of shitty boot. It doesn't even have alcohol. They don't even let you pay $6,000 and get drunk in that bitch.
That's the real crime.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. You spend $6,000 a night to go to Punta Gorda or wherever the fuck. They let you get shit faced there.
I'd rather spend $6,000 and go to a country with very limited legal rules instead of going to the Disney Star Cruiser where I can spend $6,000 to be all right at this. Because remember, folks, when this was new, we read you the itinerary. We read you the minute by minute, beat by beat. You don't even get a full 2 days here. Like we looked it up. It's not even a full 48 hours. It's like 42 hours, which you're like, that's just picking apart. But look I'm paying $6,000 a night, motherfucker. I want a full 48 hours.
Down to the goddamn seconds. Down to the fucking, for that money, you're down to the fucking seconds.
God, that gay Irish girl, don't bring this up. Imagine if this was your freaking honeymoon. I'd be thoroughly disappointed.
First of all, I'd go to where Jeff said for honeymoon, somewhere the laws are a little lax, you know?
Although, if you're being taken here for your honeymoon, that means the person you're with is possibly loaded. So
or stupid.
Or stupid. It's going to be one of those two doors. So, you know, you got a 50-50 chance.
Well, the numbers don't lie. They spelled disaster for the Disney Star Wars Cruiser.
No shit. Oh my god, dude.
Goodbye.
I mean, I think Quibi lasted longer than the fucking Star Cruiser.
Shit.
And I think it cost the same amount of money too, $2 billion.
Man, that must be the fucking amount that any business is willing to piss down the toilet. It's like, we got $2 billion to burn. What do you want to fucking do? Let's invest in a new social media platform and fuck it up during a Super Bowl ad. All right. Well, what's Disney want to do? Let's build a Star Wars theme park that nobody likes, and let's do a fucking Star Wars experience that's so expensive only influencers will go, and they'll get their fans and listeners to go support this shit. Look, We fall into the category of influencers. We'll tell you to save your money and do literally anything you want to do with it. I think that's the only thing we've ever said on this channel, folks, is do what you want to do with your own money. But we'll strongly suggest that this hologram of Yoda is not worth $3,000 a night, and that random ass astromech droid up there on the wall, that ain't worth $3,000 a night. Now, if you can take home the astromech droid and Yoda's gonna fucking sing you lullabies and shit, then maybe it's worth about half of that, maybe $350 at most. But god damn it, I don't even know what I would do with, if I had to spend $6,000 on a vacation, I would just go to Europe and I would, Dion, we would go to fucking Amsterdam. That's what we do with $6,000.
No, that's
wine, women, and weed.
100%. And they got fucking Yoda showing up in that bitch. Like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. Oh, she gonna run off? Okay, cool.
Yeah, why is Yoda's hologram on this fucking Star Cruiser? What's happening?
What the hell's going on here? This lady dropped the cosmic cube.
I don't know what's happening.
She used the Force to throw it to Rey. All right, whatever.
she used the Force Skype call to send it to her.
God. You know, watching this video, I understand why this thing didn't make any money.
Oh yeah, it looks hokey as shit. By the way, me being a Lego guy, like we had May the 4th this month. If you look at what they've, especially last year, if you look at what they've, invested in, it's the original trilogy. You know, they had, like this year they had the Emperor's Room as a diorama, and they had Endor Speeder Chase. And then last year they had what was it? Lars Family Homestead Kitchen was one of the dioramas. They had a block of the fucking the metal that was used in the Mandalorian, whatever the hell it's called, I forget.
Beskar steel.
Yeah, Beskar steel was like a keychain you get. A bunch of things like there, and that was the only new thing that they put in of the new stuff of the new Star Wars that was in the set. But everything else was like fucking old stuff. They had the AT-AT, they had a couple other things as well, but like none of it was new stuff that they did for their events. And Lego's a big fucking company. They're not going to bank. They're not going to bank on shit that doesn't sell.
So what you're telling me is the original Star Wars is so popular, a scene of a fucking kitchen will make money before the biggest action scenes in these movies will?
And to be clear about that diorama, you had to spend, I think, $80 on like 3 other dioramas to get that diorama in your order.
Yeah. People look. There was an old T-shirt.
One of the other dioramas was like the trash compactor. It was the bombing run towards the end of A New Hope was another one. Like they had a couple of them. They had 3 of them, and then like you got the 4th one as a VIP or whatever if you've spent enough money. And that's how it was. But I mean, like it was all original trilogy stuff. It's always the last 2 May 4ths I've bought stuff for has been the original trilogy stuff. They just re-released a nice big scale X-wing that they think they've re-released like 3 or 4 times now. It's I think their third series of it, a third iteration of it or whatever. So I mean, like that's where they're spent. That's where the money's going for the big expensive sets. Because if you look at the stuff for the sequel trilogy and even the Mandalorian, it's not that expensive. They're not that expensive. The stuff for the original trilogy, Star Wars stuff is expensive. They're giant pieces. They're big stuff. They even had Luke's Luke's hover car, the fucking speeder, whatever it was. They had that as well. Speeder? Yeah, that's expensive.
Well, just to back you up on that, the listener Enrique that will send us messages is my real life buddy. He's as big into Lego as you are, and we actually had this discussion before I left California because I said to him, "Oh man, some of these new Star Wars Lego sets are cheap. I should get some and hold on to them." He goes, "No, man, those don't hold their value. There's nobody that wants these things," and it's kind of sad that that's the case. Like they have to produce this shit, and it takes a physical space. There are millions of Lego bricks contained in these Star Wars Episode 7 through 9 boxes that no one gives a shit about, and normally, when stuff isn't wanted, people pick it up, and then in the future it'll be valuable, but not this stuff. Like, nobody... How do I phrase this? The people that want to claim to have a level head and talk about these things fairly cannot acknowledge the fact that these movies are absolutely hated on every level possible. you can't do anything with these characters. You spent billions of dollars, literally billions of dollars, to try to make these things work, and it doesn't work, and it's never gonna work. It's a failure. It's dead. The movies, the live experience, anything based on this is trash. And it goes to show you, the closer you get to this with The Mandalorian, people are losing interest. They don't like the First Order. They don't like Rey. They don't like any of this stuff. And it's not because they're sexist. There were a lot of women in that thing, in that Star Wars hotel. But also, too, there were a lot of white guys. The same demographic that they shit on all the time with Captain Marvel and all this other crap. You've really pushed your audience away, Disney, in record time. I think we should applaud Disney for all the stupid decisions they make, because they're just one step closer to their demise.
Yeah, and even now, I was reading an article, a headline of it anyways. It said there's going to be a delay to Mandalorian Season 4 because of the strike. So they're getting fucked on that. So they're just getting royally fucked on every aspect of entertainment, of everything. I even heard, what was it? The one article I posted in our chat was that they're going to try to buy the rest of Hulu from Comcast at the beginning of next year.
I have never said this. I hope Comcast fucking wins. I hope Comcast is like, Disney.
Dude,
Easy, don't you put that bad juju on the rest of us, goddammit.
Yo, I live in an area where Comcast does not exist. We don't get Comcast in Cincinnati. It's fucking Time Warner Spectrum. So it's like, I understand the evils of Comcast, but it's like Vince McMahon once said, what's worse, the devil you know or the devil you don't know? I know Comcast is a faceless, soulless corporation that wants to make money. Disney's like next level stupid, and stupidity is just as dangerous as evilness. So I'm going with Comcast.
Yeah, and I think Comcast smells the desperation off of Disney, and they're gonna be like, well, we need a little bit more than what we quoted you a couple years ago.
I'm gonna need about $350 billion.
Yeah, dude, it's because I remember like their section, like their portion of what they own is like, I think worth, what was it, 30 or 40 billion, but they're gonna ask like for 50 or something.
Well, listen, even on top of that, especially with the writer strike is a great fucking example. Everything going on, who are the writers not singing the praises of? Motherfucking Disney. So now you won't have those rooms to make the rest of this shit that you couldn't get off the ground. So that's the other side of it. The people that are defending this shit, they don't fucking care about you. Disney doesn't care about you. They don't care about the causes you care about. Hell, they don't give a shit about whatever group of people that you are ready to go to fucking war over. They don't fucking care.
You're like Watto. They only care about money.
Only money. Dude, Dion, when you were saying that, I was thinking of that scene in Rush Hour. The little girl, she don't like you either. Like, that's what I was thinking.
I don't like you.
So young.
By the way, that reminds me, Chris Tucker is in the movie Air. Go fucking watch it.
It's on Amazon, I think.
Actually, I acquired another one that I will send you after we get off the show that you will enjoy. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like the way you operate, sir.
Hey man, I try to help everybody out. We're in rough times.
Yeah, we are. But you know what? We keep on rolling, folks. We know it's rough out there, but spend your Thursday night with us. Grab a drink and have fun. We'll talk about the failures of pop culture. We'll talk about regular culture, any kind of culture. We'll just have a good night. And tonight, I'm drinking to celebrate the end of the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. Dion's having a couple of drinks as well. And if you caught the beginning of the show, Nick has a WCBS engraved bottle of Jack Daniel's Frank Sinatra edition that we'll be drinking at Horror Hound on August 18th through the 20th. Now, if you know us well, that bottle will not last from the 18th through the 20th. It'll probably last for the first couple of hours of the 18th, and then we'll be on a fucking beer run that night, going to stock up for that night. And then knowing us, we're going to crack a couple ones because it's late, but it's not too late to have a couple drinks. And then we'll get midday and we'll be like, fuck, man, we're out of beer. So we'll send, we don't have Lape anymore with us. Shit. Hey, Lape, if you're listening, will you come to Horror Hound? Just drive up here and we'll drive you to Horror Hound.
You know what? I'll stay sober and be the designated driver.
I like how Keno's going to sacrifice his own fun just so we don't have to just so Lape doesn't have to come with us. Lape, we love you. We really do. We really do.
Channel Dad, don't leave us. We need your guidance.
Hey, he gave us one of the best memories of all time. where he slept on the floor, but put his head underneath the desk instead of the other way around, and then kept banging his head and then get the surprise Pikachu look every time it happened. It's like, just sleep the other way.
Dude, to add on to that memory, the fact that Dion was so drunk he wouldn't wake up for his phone alarm, and it was the Bulk and Skull theme that kept playing throughout the night.
Well, and I had my noise canceling headphones on.
Yep.
That was like when Dan passed out and his phone was next to his head and it was playing the Mortal Kombat theme on repeat for at least 15 minutes. I filmed it. If you're one of my Facebook friends, and you know there are some listeners who are my Facebook friend, I put that out there. It's fucking hilarious.
God.
Oh,
well, hopefully, if Kendo brings the same amount of beer he brought to Louisiana, we won't run out of beer this time, so we'll be okay.
Well, considering I'll have to fly there, I don't see that happening.
Just pay
Nick?
for carry on, man. I don't see a problem here. I really don't.
It's just 1 or 2 shipping crates.
Yeah, man, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Now, Dion, what we'll do is, since you're going to be driving directly from there, Nick and I will be going together. Nick, we'll stop at the Party Source over in Kentucky,
Oh, nice.
and
man.
we'll get multiple cases of beer. Now, we can make a Bud Light joke, but none of us ever drink Bud Light ever. So that's not even like we're going to try to take some rough
I was
stance.
already boycotting Bud Light before it got popular to boycott.
Same. I have a
Bud
tongue.
Light.
It works.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's drinking Bud Light right now. It's fun to hear every week that like the stock is going further down and further down and further down. Oh, I think it's hilarious.
Sales are down 25% this time last year.
And did you see they're offering a $20 rebate when you buy a case of beer? Like, it's free beer, and people still aren't drinking it.
You know what? That tells you something. Like, we're in hard economic times, and people are not taking free beer. You know how fucking you know how crazy that is to say and to see. That people people are having a hard time paying for food and rent. They will not take free goddamn beer. You know what kind of stance that is? You know how hard you have to fuck up as a company.
Bud Light.
Yeah, but so you know how hard you have to fuck up as a company to be like, people aren't taking free beer. Like, once again, I understand it's Bud Light. It's basically fucking water. But like, come the fuck, like that's hardcore, man.
Oh, it is. They really they pissed off the wrong people.
Yeah, it's oh my god, I love every minute of it. I really do. I hope it lasts through the summer because I know that's like their big month for beers. Big months for beers like the summer. So yeah, it should be fun.
I just wonder how the football, or well, not all sports. I only like football. I wonder how the football season's going to react because they always have a new campaign. I'm guessing that they'll do something around football season to make people forget. Or I could be incredibly wrong, and this time next year, after we're celebrating the demise of the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, it's like May 18th, 2024, Bud Light discontinued his brand of beer, as InBev, whatever. It's like, what the fuck, man?
You know what's going to happen, right? Some Chinese company's going to buy it.
Oh, dude, if a Chinese company buys it, it's going to be the most, like, straight-laced beer ever.
I know.
It'll be like, they'll get Michael Phelps to endorse it. They'll get fucking Tom Brady. They'll just get the most safe endorsements ever.
Austrians ain't giving out Bud Light. Calm your ass down.
The Austrians, we're talking about the Chinese, bro.
The Austrians own Budweiser, Busch, or whatever. Fuck, they ain't giving it to the
InBev.
Chinese.
Dude,
That's
if it's
InBev and it's Brazilian. By way of Belgium.
well, all I'm saying, Dion, is if the value of that shit drops and nobody wants it, they're gonna sell. They're gonna be like, well, shit, we have nothing else to do with this brand, so we'll just detach it off and we'll sell it to the Chinese. Because wait, PBR is oddly popular in Japan. Maybe they'll find like some other countries will be like, oh, we love this American beer, and they'll rebrand Bud Light as this like great American beer for other countries. And we just don't get it anymore
in my house.
Bud Light is not like its own thing, but yeah. I mean that, that would have to be pretty fucking crazy. And even then, even if Bud Light were to not be that popular, Anheuser-Busch would just rename it. They're not gonna, Budweiser, right? Especially this was the
now
same
introducing
thing.
our new beer, Light Bud.
Exactly. Like, people really are jumping to that thing. I get it, you know what I'm saying, but it ain't gonna fall that far. Especially the people who drink Bud Light, after a while, they'll go back to drinking Bud Light because they already drank fucking Bud Light.
Aren't you glad that's just not us?
I am, which is what makes this whole thing hilarious.
It really does. It's oh man, and even I heard that they're gonna try to like put some sort of like they're gonna try to redo the can some sort of like camo coloring or whatever and make it
for Memorial Day and the
Yeah.
run in through Flag Day and into 4th of July. They're like, they're gonna reintroduce the camo can, like that's gonna be like the Band-Aid on it. That's essentially that meme that you always see with the dude like slapping the sticky tape on things.
yeah.
Bud Light sales are fucking plummeting through the floor. What do we do? Sticky tape, camo cans.
Look it. We don't really talk about him much anymore outside of the Joe Rogan button, but even he was criticizing their uber patriotic thing. It's like, you can't jump to that to try to get people to buy your beer, because it just goes to show you how little you care about your audience or actually understand them. Like, that's been the official stance of the channel. I've made a handful of videos on the topic, not because I'm pissed off about certain things, but as Dion knows, I went to school for advertising. This is literally what I was fucking trained in.
Okay.
Absolutely know this shit. And they teach you that advertising is about selling a lifestyle. And you also are taught not to essentially shit where you eat. You know, your brand, the thing is about advertising is meant to be as broad as possible because it's so expensive. To get your products out there to as many people as possible, you need to create one piece of something that will sell to as many people as possible. And I'll give Bud Light credit. About 5 years ago, the Bud Nights, that was one of the best campaigns ever. Everybody was into the dilly dilly thing, there were like 5 or 6 of those commercials, and they were all funny. Did it make me buy Bud Light? No, but it put Bud Light on my radar in a positive way. That's the kind of shit, when you want to take a chance with an advertisement, that's what you do. You find a way to be funny. They say humor sells the best besides sex. Well, we can't sell sex with beer anymore because apparently sex is bad for a certain audience. You know, like women in bikinis, which we're going to be talking about a little later tonight. We're not allowed to talk about those things. So you go elsewhere. And the channel's only said this. It is not smart to alienate your customers. It is not smart to go against the audience that supports you, because in the long run, it'll bite you in the ass. And with Bud Light, it has bit them in the ass in record time. With Star Wars, it has bit them in the ass. Realistically, folks, it's not a story of woke politics and this and that. It's the story of 2 companies shitting on the consumer base that supports them regularly and pissing off enough people. That's all it is. It's not about, you don't have to go as deep in political and angry or woke or this shit. It's just flat out a company not understanding who actually consumes their products and finding a way to piss them off. Be it the way Bud Light did the sponsorship deal, or the way Disney shit on Luke Skywalker. It's essentially the same thing from a different point of view. You just got to remember the end result is disaster, because the numbers never lie. And now we're celebrating the death of a hotel.
Oh, I know, and I fucking love it every day when I hear more and more stuff about Disney trying to, like, you know, scrape up any sort of pennies to kind of, you know, keep going. I think it's hilarious. I really do. But it's one of those things where it's like, you've seen companies, you know, in 2015, at the beginning of all this bullshit, do this stuff and, like, you know, lose large sums of money. I don't know what incentive or what thing there is for them to keep doing this and try it and be like, oh, since they did it, we should try it and it'll be different. No, it's going to be the same result. You keep losing money and people don't want to buy it. Like, this is not rocket surgery, goddammit. This is easy shit. You know, it's really simple stuff. I don't understand what the problem is with the understanding of this concept.
I don't either, man. And this is just another example of of billions of dollars being thrown away because people that make this stuff don't understand the people who buy the stuff. End of the story.
Yeah, I mean, is it like a tax thing or whatever? If you lose so much money, you get to take it off your tax at the end of the year, and you can put it in your pocket or whatever. I don't fucking know. I mean, it's just a weird thing to, like, try to equate to, like, their idiotic decision. It really is. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
What if the Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy is just a tax scam? That's all it is. That would be incredible.
That's the only thing that there has to be some. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. I understand, at least in 2015, and this is, again, to the point of how they don't give a shit about you. You know, seeing essentially, you know, Twitter, you know, seeing that as a business opportunity, right? You know, if we talk about how much we want to be different and how much this, that, and this is what you want to see movies. If we make a big deal about it, they will come and give us money. And, you know, so I can see that part, but to keep doing it That's where it's weird. That's where things get weird. To turn your entire brand into, trying to go for the little guy, and at the same time making the black dude smaller on your movie poster to sell movies in another country for that franchise. Like that's what's so weird about it. Like you understand the business of making decisions to get people to watch your shit. That move proved that Disney knows all this shit. Companies like Disney, Anheuser-Busch, they know all this shit. You do you have to do certain things that may or may not be, considered nice to make a lot of money. You understand that. But the way they keep doing things over here, that's why it's like it's not working. Like it's not, it's like people aren't buying Disney Plus. Like you're doing this shit in Star Wars, they're not running to subscribe to Disney Plus. So it's like, why do you keep doing it? You have all the evidence that shows it doesn't work. Why do you keep doing it?
I'm sorry. I'm just having such a good time being drunk on the air right now. I just wanted to say that.
You know what?
Because we're talking about booze.
I think somebody messaged us in the chat. I was just scrolling by, but they need to bring back the most interesting man in the world commercial for Dos Equis.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
Those were so much fun. Those were so much fun.
I'll tell you, the last two beer ads that made me drink beer were the most interesting man in the world from Dos Equis and the fucking Modelo commercial with that bitchin' version of the Ecstasy of Gold from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. There's a way to sell beer to all kinds of people. Those two ads have made me open my wallet. I like Modelo. Dion, how many Modelos did we drink at WrestleMania?
Seriously, dude. Yeah.
We had a fucking refill on Modelo. Modelo Especial. Mm-hmm. That's our standard go-to beer these days. Yingling, if it's available, which it wasn't available in California, was a go-to beer as well. I know a lot of people are jumping on the Yingling train because of their new, the veterans cans. And look, we like veterans. We've had them on the channel. We respect those dudes. We judge beer on beer. And Yingling has always been a good go-to party beer, a great beer pong beer, just a great fill-in beer. Kendo, you were pretty happy when you came to town that one time and bought yourself a few cases to take home, correct?
Yeah, like 8 cases to take home.
I didn't want to make you sound like you were crazy, but
No, that's fine. I love me some Yingling. When I went back home over spring break, they sell it in Missouri now. The first thing I did when I finally got off the interstate to get on the road that takes me back to Camp Kendo, I went into the gas station. I bought a case of Yingling, and I'm like, this will get me through probably tonight.
Now, do you get some decent beer out where you are now?
Yes, for the most part. Some of the local shit's not too bad, like from Santa Fe Brewing Company and things like that. Modelo's everywhere. I usually get that. Estrella's out here, but that is now, but from what I understand, is a product of a certain company that might rhyme with Dud Bright. So nobody's really buying that a whole lot anymore. I have noticed that every time I've gone to the store, the Budweiser and Bud Light seems relatively mostly stocked.
It is where I'm living too. I mean, especially, Cincinnati is what it is in terms of economics and social climate and stuff like that. But the Bud Light is full at every Kroger I go to. It's like, now I'm sure the Miller Lite's going to be affected. And actually, I wanted to send this out on Mother's Day. There was the Sunday ad was out from a local Meijer, and I didn't really want to go on about posting about this constantly, but Bud Light had a $10 instant rebate, and Miller Lite had a $5 rebate, which I know they're trying to sell beer, but it's like double the price of the rebate. And they're really trying to get people to entice them to buy this beer. And there are so many different reasons. I'm just more interested and fascinated from the outside of all of this to watch this. We love a fucking dumpster fire, We love car accidents, like Dane Cook said. We love car accidents in this country. This is just another car accident. And what is the next company to put the foot in their mouth? Or like Dion says, they love the taste of the shotgun. Who's ready to fucking taste some heavy metal? I'm waiting to see what's up.
The best thing that should happen is instead of buying Bud Light, go to your local brewery and buy from them. Buy local, give those guys money.
Yeah, always buy local.
Yeah, fuck
Dion,
those corporations. Give it to the little guy.
Dion, you got some damn good beer up by you.
Hell, listen, that's one reason I love living in Michigan, man. We got some of the best beer in the world up here. So, that's why, I know that's the joke is like, oh, people that love IPAs, yeah, bitch, but you drink Bud Light. So look at the fucking bullshit y'all are dealing with, so, easy, but yeah, man, that's, listen, when I buy a major brand, so I like Modelo. As Jeff mentioned, I fucking love Modelo. And as a lot of, again, I'm just saying from the perspective of the consumer, a lot of Latin beers, they're really into combat sports. So boxing, MMA, pro wrestling, Modelo, Tecate, obviously, Dos Equis, those groups love Mexican beer. And you don't see those companies doing a lot of shit, and they're getting bigger. You know what I mean? It's if anything, it's an example of sometimes it's okay to not say anything.
Oh yeah, and I remember the Modelo commercials where they were kind of like putting up Latin Americans like on in their commercials like, oh, this guy did this. They're putting up like firefighters and people and boxers and things like that as well in their commercials, and it was pretty neutral. They put up everybody everybody that was part of that culture in the commercial, and I was like, okay, this is how you do it. You recognize who your audience is, who you're selling to, and you're putting them up. You're telling these really very cool stories in a very short format, and it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, guys, we need to do some more beer reviews at Horror Hound. We'll review. I'll get some local craft beers from Cincinnati. Dion, you drive some down from Michigan. And then Nick's bringing the whiskey.
Well, here's the thing. Steve Lemmy from Super Troopers from Broken Lizard recently put out something called Rhino Dart. Yeah, he's while they were doing quasi stuff, and apparently when he came to Nashville, he was really into it because like the drinks out of Nashville. So I'm going this weekend to see my friend near Nashville. I'm gonna try to grab some and bring it to you guys. It's gonna sit in my fridge until fucking August when we meet up at Horror Hound, but it'll be in the fridge, I swear. And we'll try it there and we'll review it there if you want to do that.
I do. I have one thing to say to that, Nick.
Mother of God.
I'm ready.
You did it. You did it.
Bro, look, I love this show, all right? We're going to take this shit to 10 million listeners and quit, so don't worry.
Yeah. Now we just need the one where he goes enhanced like 4 times.
I just think of Blade Runner.
Oh, God.
We're getting closer to that Blade Runner reality where we can just keep saying enhance on a photo, and it's like, oh, shit, I can see details I didn't want to see.
It's funny you say that because I was watching a video on another AI application that can do that now as well, and I'm just like, I swear to God, every day there are like 20 more that come out. It's insane. It really is.
Next week's show is going to be presented fully in AI. Dion, Kendo, myself, as well as Nick. We're not going to even be here. We're going to be on a beach collecting 20%, and the AI is going to read your messages and interact with you guys like we're here. Wouldn't that be fucking weird if we had a fifth bullshitter that was just AI?
Yeah, that'd be fucking wild.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look into it in the future.
Can't say I would be okay with that.
Nor would I. I can joke about many things, but I've seen Terminator too many times. I know what happens.
Yeah.
Even the creator of ChatGPT was like, yo, man, I'm worried about this shit, dog.
You know what's going to be fucking weird? When we were kids, Terminator was just science fiction. Today, it's a cautionary tale. Like, seriously.
Well, I think I don't know if I sent you this over, Jeff. I'll send it over at some point. But like this kid made Jarvis like for his computer at home, and apparently it's even easier now because they have you can literally use a portion of ChatGPT and add some other things onto it and make it unique to your experience. You can actually verbally talk to it and give it commands and things like that to do. So
shit.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, wash my car. ChatGPT, pay my taxes and use the money from someone else's account.
ChatGPT, do not become fucking Skynet.
I wonder if enough people told Chat GPT to go fuck itself, if it would try to find a way to like grow a dick and fuck itself.
No, it's just going to keep going. Yep, Skynet's coming. These motherfuckers have it coming.
Yeah, you can put on the you put on the naughty list. Then it's like, all right, check, that person's gonna die.
Yeah.
When we release the drones,
every time you insult Chat GPT, another part of the T800 gets fucking designed.
Wouldn't that be entirely fucked if it was like using the background in the background while using part of your CPU to like power it like for calculations or something?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you hear dun 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 dun. What was that? That must be Chat GPT again.
Oh god, people, you guys better get those EMP guns ready. I'm just saying.
Bro, you know what's going to happen is we're going to realize that the plot from GoldenEye is the only way to save humanity, so we're just going to fucking create the GoldenEye weapon.
Oh dear God.
Trevelyan was a hero after all.
Oh jeez.
When you got all the money, baby.
You know what? Hold on a second. We have Chat GPT. Write me a story about a man named Dion.
And his favorite horse.
All right.
See, now that's what makes me not want to see what happens.
All right. So ChatGPT is thinking.
Yeah, I should send you the Dan prompt, thing you can put into it. That's fun stuff.
Did you hear? There's a apparently somebody's trying to sue because they used AI generated art on Game of Thrones book covers or something like that.
Yeah. Apparently, some people from Sony who work there used confidential code, like ran it through ChatGPT to like consolidate it and to see if it was correct. So,
you know, this thing is really. Oh my God, this story is oddly specific.
Nice.
I'm going to let this thing... Look it, folks. We're going to let ChatGPT write the story about Dion, who lived in a small village nestled in the foot of a majestic mountain range, in just a moment.
That's awesome.
Now, look. As you can see on screen right now, Indiana Jones 5 isn't getting good reviews, and I'm fucking happy. So we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But, guys, we have to check in with our wonderful audience. Folks, as always, we'd like to thank you guys for supporting WCBS. You help us continue to grow each and every week as we're on our rise to 200,000 this summer. And then we're going to 10 million. And then we're going to fucking quit, because underneath it all, that's our goal. And once we reach that goal, what are we going to get, 100 million subscribers? Could you imagine if the four of us had the same poll that PewDiePie used to have?
Listen, man.
It would be a unique time to live in.
It would be sure. Dion, you could have every white woman at once. And I'd fight you. Well, I'm single, so I'd fight you for that shit. You're a happily married man. I'll take the white woman.
I don't need you planting out evidence out there in the world. If we get to PewDiePie levels, I'm gonna be living a whole shadow intergalactic fucking. I don't even know. I don't need you to be dropping what I'm gonna be doing it where it can be recorded, dude. You know, fucking easy. You know what I'm saying?
Dion's gonna get a fucking flip phone with a removable battery. It's like, I don't know where I'm gonna be.
Listen,
it's
where you at? I'm at where I'm at. Don't worry about it.
We're supposed to be on air, buddy.
Trust me, where I'm at, I get beautiful fucking reception. Just send me the link.
Give me 30 seconds. I'll be on.
Let me fucking drop my hot shit that helped get us here. You know, the people want to see me too.
Oh,
I promise you, I will never become David Ruffin. Ain't nobody here to see you, Otis. I will never be that guy.
WCBS is a group effort. All for one and one for all. We're like the Three Musketeers.
I for myself.
Fair enough, Kendo. Fair enough. Let's check in with the audience before we, go on to Indiana Jones, as well as waiting for the Chat GPT story, which is still right. God, oh my God, this is like.
Are you writing a fucking book? What's happening?
I said, write me a story about a man named Dion and his favorite horse. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paragraphs long so far.
Nice. That's a
We'll
hell
close
of a
the
story.
show out with that. Yeah. Kendo, would you pick a number between 1 and 69, please?
12.
What am I, a fucking retard, man? Am I a fucking retard, huh? I know what this is. You're trying to stop me out because of this crazy little nephew being around. Well, vive la fucking France, man!
Well, all right.
What the fuck was that? Did you find a portion of an Italian beaver picture and just copy it or something?
Bro, that's Nicolas Cage.
Is that Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, dude, that's raised in Arizona.
No, that's not raised in Arizona.
Which one is
I'm
that?
not gonna tell you. I'll tell you guys privately, but I want the audience to try and figure it out. There's a
I'm sure
secondary.
somebody will be able
Dude,
to
the
figure it
audience is gonna figure out right away.
Well, then we're gonna wait for the. If the audience
there's
can
at least one person in the audience that's watched that movie.
or loves that
First-
movie. You know, there's always someone that fucking loves that movie.
look at first person in the chat to get this correct is gonna get a special shout out. And thank you, Turk and Raz. Matt G, that is not from the upcoming Ray Skywalker movie. No, that is from a very special film. First person to know it is gonna be amazing. So. Speaking of amazing, our wonderful listeners who support the channel, we appreciate you guys. Up first is... God damn it, there is a Bad Lieutenant button, but that is not it, sir. TLJ Screwjob says, what is worse, in real life Detroit or RoboCop Detroit? Trick question.
RoboCop Detroit. Because there are giant drug-eating robots around the city to fucking kill you. That's why.
That's a sound answer that I'm not going to fight.
That's a good. But also, you got crazy motherfuckers in fucking Pontiacs. They don't even make anymore. Jumping drawbridges in Detroit. So, I think it's pretty much on par.
Oh well, shit.
Which is pretty hilarious. Can't have even bridges can't fucking have shit in Detroit, baby.
Now this one comes from our friend Shrebbles08.
Dion, are you excited to see the Marvels? I'm so excited for your suffering, Dion.
Okay.
I'm loving it.
That comes out on my birthday. I don't need you fucking trying to ear assault me.
Dion, if you're... Look it, I'm not going to ear grape you, all right? I'm not going to ear grape soda you. Now, look it, if you're looking for some misery or company for your misery, remember, you might have the Marvels released on your birthday. I had Black Adam, and you know how much I like The Rock, so...
Yeah, I think even with what you said, I still come out on the losing end of this.
That's how
Like
things
that
should
movie
be. Life
has
finds
to
a way.
be one of the greatest Marvel movies ever made to make this shit okay. Like you just needed Black Adam to be good, okay, and you didn't get that. And I'm sorry for that. I
I'm
apologize.
okay with that.
If I was making a movie that was on my best friend's birthday, that shit would be a hit. But they didn't do that to you. The Rock let us down again. But whatever, we're not keeping score. For my birthday disaster to not be a disaster, we have to. It has to be literally on the same level as like Iron Man 1.
Ooh.
Like that shit turned 15 years old this year, and I get the fuck. My celebration is the Marvels. What the fucking fuck?
Well, if you want to celebrate at least my birthday, I'm doing it in Vegas. You and Hildar should come out for that.
I like it.
Everybody on the show. Look at Nick and Kendo. I want you guys too. So
Okay.
we should do it. All right, cool. Look, I'm already doing it. I'm 100% committed. So I'm turning 35. Let's do it in Vegas. Let's live stream the thing. Let's have fun. Let's do it.
Hold on. Don't live stream all of it, goddammit.
Yeah, I was gonna say the missus is always talking about how she wants to go to Vegas because she has friends that live in Vegas. They have Jollibee in Vegas, a huge Asian store in Vegas. So Vegas can happen, and it's like an 8-hour drive. So I'll just 7-hour. No, it's a 6-hour drive. Fuck, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
It's getting better all the time.
Hell yeah! So
Hey,
it won't
there
be
you go.
really hard to convince her to
So
go.
what
to
you're
Vegas.
telling me is there's no reason not to do it, there, Kendo?
Yeah, no, it's happening. All we gotta do is
Oh,
say, "Hey,
fuck
we're gonna
yeah.
go to Vegas this weekend," and she'd be like, "Okay."
Boom. All right. If we have any, we have a couple listeners out in Vegas. Tony of the Clown World Reviews, you should come out and meet us for lunch. We'll go to In-N-Out
yeah.
Burger. We'll get shit-faced and have a good time. Oh, my God. I can't wait. All right, so we got to wait till October for that shit, but let's get on with the show tonight.
Oh darn.
Darn is right. Thank you, Shrubbles08. Again, he says, I'll take a John Cena and a Brie Larson getting punched out, please. Of course. Guys, coming up this weekend is Fast and Furious
I don't
Family.
have friends. I got family.
And did you hear the spoiler about this movie?
No.
Nope.
Do you want to hear
wait,
the spoiler?
hold on.
Spoil away because I ain't
Hold
gonna
on.
watch it.
Somebody actually cares about the spoiler of a Fast and Furious movie?
I know,
I'm
seriously.
just-
Like, we don't give a shit. We just want to see wild shit happen. Who cares?
Yeah.
Now, look. remember the line from Joe Dirt. It's not about what we want, it's about what the consumer wants. And in our case, it's our audience. So I just wanted to give the audience fair warning before I spoil what could possibly be the biggest moment of this weekend. But, spoiler alert, The Rock is actually in this movie. He's in the last fucking scene.
Oh man!
Oh my
They wanna
God!
even
Really?
make all the
I
fuck
still
they
don't
do,
plan on watching.
Or they're gonna give it. They've paid them enough to bury all that bullshit.
Look, I know a couple people, and the bullshit is real, but there must have been enough money to roll around because, you know. Oh, speaking of, I don't know if I mentioned this on air. You know that show Citadel?
Yeah.
That shit was refilmed twice. That shit cost $1 million a minute. It's like a fucking money hole.
Yeah, I heard it's still not very good.
No, but I just wanted to bring it up. Like, somebody told me straight up, like, that shit was refilmed. That is $1 million a minute on screen. That's how much money is sunk into that fucking show.
Motherfucking Amazon, dude.
That reminds me of the Charlie's Angels show in like the 2000s or the early 2000s or maybe late 2000s or whatever. That Drew Barrymore tried to direct, and like they had such a problem doing it. It cost them, I think, like $60 million for the first season, like something ridiculous at the time. And they didn't even get past the first season. Like, nobody wanted to watch it. It was terrible.
I think is historically, I like Charlie's Angels. The 70s TV show's fun. I actually really liked the 2000 movie. I saw that in theaters as a kid.
Because I recently watched the 2000 movies again, and I'm like, these are actually not bad. They're actually kind of funny.
Well, the thing is, like, when they want to talk about how, you know, attitudes have changed and people are more sexist and all that, no, it's really the entertainment is shitty. Yeah, what's wrong with being sexy? There's nothing wrong with being sexy. Believe me, we got a sexy button that we're gonna press a little later tonight.
Well,
Fuck.
And talking about that, I miss raunchy comedies. Where the fuck have those gone? Like, I miss that shit.
We're not allowed to have raunchy comedies, Nick. You're not allowed to be.
Those are the best comedies. Nerds, Animal House, Sex
Harold
Drive.
Kumar.
Harold and Kumar.
No,
Like,
from what I understand from a very reputable corporation, women in bikinis and things like that is bad shit.
Oh, Vince.
No,
Shit, Vince McMahon has the right idea, actually.
yes, he does.
we need the man show back. We really do.
Why? Corolla
I don't know
would
about
be
that
good,
shit.
but Jimmy Kimmel would be, you know.
Okay, we need.
He might come running back.
Even though I'm not a fan of reboots, we need to reboot the man show. I'm just saying.
Why don't we do it?
Sure, we do it right.
I don't know about all that shit.
Dude, that show is amazing. It'll be the four of us sitting around drinking
Yeah,
beer,
bitch,
talking about
and one
shit.
of us is married now. I can't be making all those jokes all the fucking time. Cool it.
Two of us are married now, and
Do you not acknowledge Kendo's marriage, Dion? What the fuck?
Clearly,
Wow,
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Man, I'm in between us.
You heard it here
motherfucker.
first, folks.
Man, show,
Dion
you
is
lost the
anti-interracial
motherfucking
marriage.
mind.
He has gone the way of Rusty Cundiff. He is 100% a Cundiffer.
God damn it, Dion. You're fucking late to the show, and on top of that, you're not even gonna... I'm sorry. We need to have a talk off air, all right? Horror Hound might be a fucking proving ground for what's... I can't even finish this. Oh, God. We're friends. We don't fight about this shit. Let's press the fucking button.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
Oh God, I did see some pictures or video of Brie Larson on the red carpet for Fast 7. I was like, damn, she looks good. From a certain angle. From a certain angle.
She always look good. She's
No one's
just
ever said
Not
she was
always,
ugly.
sir.
so unlikable.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, I think... I know this sounds crazy, and I took a couple of screenshots from the Fast 10 premiere because I was thinking about making a video. I think somebody has told her it's time to revitalize her image because whatever you want to call the old version of Brie... Okay, the second coming of Brie Larson, because there was Brie Larson beforehand where she was like a kid actor and then she showed up in 21 Jump Street and she was kind of cool. Like, that was that Brie Larson. Then there's Captain Marvel 1 Brie Larson. And I think somebody told her, like, look, your career's gonna fucking die if you're not nicer. So I think she's trying, and it's weird, because it's not like I'm liking her anymore, but, like, we all like boobs, and I think that's what she's going for.
Well, I mean, you know what would make her really likable amongst the left and everybody else, Jeff? Interracial husband. That's what would do it.
You know, Nick,
story.
she screwed you over once. Are you willing to give her a second chance and go back?
Listen. If I get a contract and get a weekly allowance that's 15% higher than it was last time, I'll do it. It's fine.
Man after my own heart and money. Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. And I don't
That's
hate
true.
it.
That's
I'm
true.
proud of you, my friend. Let's give you the John Cena button, and we'll continue on with our show this evening. Where is it at? Where is it at? I think this is it. I'm sorry if I press it wrong once.
Who's that Pokemon?
Yeah.
They all look the same. Where is John Cena? God damn it. I think... Hold on. John Cena's in the other tab. Is he right? I don't know. Give me a second. I'm lost on air. While I'm looking for the John Cena button, here you guys go. Enjoy this.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god.
He's dead. Sorry, folks. Now, the John Cena button. I think I found it. Here we go.
Yeah, make
now,
sure.
listen.
Yeah,
Yes.
the volume warning.
Nick, tell everyone.
Yeah, make sure you turn down your headphones or your volume by at least 3 or 4 clicks just to make sure.
And we're gonna give you a countdown in 5, 4, 3.
Who's that Pokemon?
John Cena!
It's true, he does. All right, Kendo, this one's for you, man. From Georgian, he says, Coach Kendo, what's worse, Wilson's Federal Reserve Act or Lincoln's National Bank Act, both 1863 and 1864 versions? Can I get an Iron Grogu, please? Of course, we'll push you that after we talk about this subject. So, Kendo, what's worse, the Federal Act or the Federal Reserve Act from Wilson or Lincoln's National Bank Act?
Yes.
I think you got him. Now, Dion, you're a man of history yourself, and Woodrow Wilson, being one of the most racist presidents in history, has definitely impacted your life in the year 2023. How does it feel to be black in America when Woodrow Wilson was president like 80 years ago?
I mean, there's a lot of motherfuckers that don't like the black. So, I mean, you want to have that conversation, you know what I'm saying? But, you know,
I don't know what you're saying, but I'm going to agree with you.
Right.
Well, I mean, you know, if you want to move to California where they're giving reparations, I mean, you know, I wouldn't hold
I
it
might
against
go
them.
back to collect a check. I still got a couple mailing addresses out there. It's like, look, guys, I just got the government to give me $79,000. What am I going to do with it? Reinvest into this channel. Let's go.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Now, Kendo, now that you're back, we
Yes.
had a Georgian super chat. It said, what's worse, Wilson's Federal Reserve Act or Lincoln's National Bank Act, both 1863 and 1864 versions?
Oh, I'd have to actually look into it a little bit more because I'm not 100% up on the Bank Act. By default, I'm just going to have to say fuck Wilson and the Federal Reserve.
Now, I'm glad you brought up Woodrow Wilson, Georgian. I actually wanted to bring this up naturally, Kendo, but I've been listening to this book on the history of comic books, and I don't mean like, oh, Superman was created in 1937, blah, 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 or 38. It was more like the literal year-by-year history. We're talking like 1700s when they were etchings in old newspapers. But the reason I bring it up is because Woodrow Wilson is mentioned for his... They call him out as being a racist president, but he liked this comic... He liked this comic character. I believe the name was Cool Cat, and the guy would never allow himself. The creator would never allow himself to be photographed without his hat on because he was afraid his hair would make him look black. And so I think it's funny that the guy who was afraid of being considered black had the work that was favored by Woodrow Wilson. So maybe that's one of history's greatest mysteries, that the guy was secretly black and Woodrow Wilson loved his work. I kind of hope that's the case because Woodrow Wilson would be rolling over in his grave right now.
Black thing, there's a whole thing about Babe Ruth.
Wait, what's that about Babe Ruth being secretly black?
Yeah, that he might have been at least half black.
But doesn't that make Jackie Robinson lesser by comparison?
Yes.
I mean, if you're on Twitter, it does, but possibly.
Bro, we should. Twitter is a fun cesspool. By the way, folks, follow us on Twitter, World Class BS. As of today, Uncle Elon has allowed us to upload 2-hour videos up to 8 gigabytes of storage. So, folks, once we get approved for the Twitter membership program and the monetization, we're going to start creating specialized content because we understand some people love to support us. Everyone loves to support a good time. That's what World Class Bullshitters is. But some people don't want to support this platform. They like certain platforms and they like certain beliefs. So it doesn't matter what you believe in. We're here for you. So we'll be on Twitter soon to offer you guys exclusive stuff. All you got to do is join us over there. Now, Sejorjan asked for an Iron Grogu button. Sure, we'll give you the Iron Grogu, and then we're going to read one or two more, and then we're going to get back to the show, because Indiana Jones 5 ain't as great as people thought it would be, but we here at the WCBS, we understand exactly what we were getting into.
Mando, welcome back, my friend. A little welcome gift. That's not the only gift I have for you. So what do you think?
Maybe when he's older. No. What do you mean, no?
I think he's saying he's old enough to operate it.
Yes, 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 yes.
No! You can't steal my catchphrase! No!
Yes.
No!
Yes.
No!
Yes.
No! No! No!
Yes.
No!
Yes.
I fucking love Daniel Bryan.
Get that shit over. Before they told him to stop doing it, when he would get in the kids, whatever kid is sitting up there, and he'd be yelling "no" in their face.
Dude,
WWE
I
made
would
him stop doing
love.
that shit.
I would love to have been at a wrestling show where Daniel Bryan just screams in my face, "No!" Sure, man. Dion, we got to go to SummerSlam, man. We got to make that happen.
Yes, I think that definitely needs to be on the docket.
Even if we can't get a big group, even if it's just like you and me, or you, me, and Hildar, or just a couple other shit. Too bad the boys aren't the right age for wrestling. Could you imagine them seeing some? Well, they're just too young still. Plus, we don't want to have to worry about them in downtown Detroit, right?
Right. That I mean, downtown Detroit's actually nice now. So.
Wait,
I love hanging out.
Disney made a Star Wars Galactic Cruiser that shut down in record time, and now downtown Detroit is nice. What the fuck? When did we enter the Twilight Zone, bro?
Listen. Downtown, baby.
Hey. I mean, it was. I mean, it can't be terrible for forever. So they had to clean it up somehow.
Just go to California. It will be terrible forever. Some things are forever. Terrible things forever.
I mean, that's why they're losing 500,000 people a year, man.
They lost the World Class Bullshitters, man. We used to be located there. Not anymore, folks. Next month we'll have a new P.O. box, so you guys can send us your stuff that you want to send us. Last aside before we get into our next Indiana Jones topic, Dion, guess what showed up in the mail this week?
Ooh.
I got my Japanese Storm figure that I purchased over 2 years ago. It finally arrived.
Holy shit.
The best thing is I got a Michael Keaton Batmobile in the mail. It's full. It's that McFarlane Toys one. It's so big. It's like it could fit a fucking action figure inside of it.
Damn, dude.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. And I got that Mezco figure, the fucking expensive one. So I'm going to put the Mezco figure next to the Michael Keaton Batmobile and just have like a display, an ode to Michael Keaton Batman. So I can't go wrong with that. Adam Wofford, what is up, my friend? He says, hot tub fun bags. Dial of fun bags. Well, speaking of dials, let's talk about the Dial of Destiny. So, Indiana Jones 5, we're about a month and, 12 days away from that June 30th release date, which is definitely going to date this episode of the podcast. And by the way, folks, a little bit of updates. We're going to find a better way to make sure more announcements get out there because this platform's a little slow, pardon my phrase. But I'm going to make 4 videos, 4 long-form, deep dive reviews of Indiana Jones. The first one, obviously, Raiders of the Lost Ark, the follow-up Temple of Doom, and the most amazing closer to a trilogy, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And because we're all about accuracy on this channel, we're going to do fucking Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, even though it's
I'm not.
ass. No, look, this is all me. I'm going to treat these like Mauler-style videos, where it's just me talking about Indiana Jones, the good, the bad, the ugly, all that fun stuff. But it's going to be in a build-up to the new Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which I don't like the title. I know some people like the title. I'm not here to judge you guys. I'm just here to talk about this film. Anybody here like the title Dial of Destiny?
Nope.
No.
It's very
Dion,
no
you were
time
ready
to
to
die.
say no.
Well, I mean, the all the other three titles are wonderful. Last Crusade, Temple of Doom. You know, I mean, come on, man. I mean, like those
Mushroom Stamp of Fortune.
Holy shit, I would actually watch that movie. That should be our Indiana Jones porno. Indiana Bones and the Mushroom Stamp of Fortune. Boom. Do me a favor. Hold down the fort for the next 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
I hope he's writing that down.
I think he's gonna buy the domain or something like that.
Maybe. Folks, if you would watch Indiana Jones and the Mushroom Stamp of Fortune, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat.
Mushroom Stamp of Fortune.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
That would be hilarious, but goddamn, that title's so dumb. Dial it. I mean, I guess I'll have to wait to see if the movie's good, which apparently it's not. But fucking dumb names is the other part of living in this timeline that I can't stand. You know, No Time to Die, The Dial of Destiny. So many fucking inventive goddamn names, man. The Citadel. Like, come on, man.
I mean, to be fair, did we honestly think that the Indiana Jones movie would be any good? Because I don't think any of us were ever on board thinking, "Oh yeah, this is a real banger." It's gonna.
No, but I did be like, at first I was like, man, that trailer isn't terrible.
It's not really good.
I was like, maybe there was hope.
Yeah.
There was some hope.
That's not a great endorsement. The trash can wasn't on fire. Well, yeah, you're right. It wasn't.
I mean, that's okay. You get some points for that, right? If you got a trash can and it ain't on fire yet, I mean, shit.
It's not on fire yet.
But yeah, man, I don't know. It just is like with the way that they name, big budget shit now. It's just so The Peripheral. It's just like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Wait, is that a movie called The Peripheral?
No, it's that Amazon show with Hit Girl.
Yeah, I mean, there was even a horror movie called Skinamarink. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Right.
What is this? Like,
you don't know what that's based off of?
I know what it's based off of. I'm aware, but like, it was a weird name for a horror movie.
Oh, I don't know what it's based off of. I was asking you to tell me.
Okay, it's a really shitty supposed horror movie. It's just long shots of like empty shadowed hallways, and you hear like people talking in like another room down the hall. That's all it is for 90 minutes. I swear to God, it's shitty. Don't watch it.
That sounds like the only movie to outshit the Babadook, which I hate that fucking movie.
I watched it once and I was like, I'm not gonna watch it again.
Some shit.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Dion?
What was that the one about the internet monster or whatever?
It's like it's the kid with the book.
Yeah, the thing comes out of a book or whatever.
I've never wanted to like watch, like, normally when you watch a horror movie with a kid, like Pet Sematary, you're kind of rooting for the kid to survive or come back or something like that. I want the kid in the Babadook to just get, I don't know, disappeared forever. Because I hated that fucking movie. That, like, dude, if I could beat the shit out of a fucking film, it would be the Babadook. Like, I would curb stomp that shit like fucking Office Space. The Babadook is that printer, and I am Michael Bolton. And I'm not going to change my name because he sucks. Why should I have to change it?
Correct.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
Dude, I fucking love that one too. Well, okay, let me rephrase it. I love that scene, but dude, all the Judd Apatow comedies just turn into fucking dramedies midway through, and they're not that funny after a while.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially after everything, pretty much after Knocked Up just dropped. Then it was comedy special.
Dude, remember This Is 40 when I came up to visit for New Year's? We called This Is 40, This Is Bullshit.
Dude, I'm still pissed that we spent money to go see that movie.
Dude, if I could get a refund for anything, it would obviously be for those WrestleMania tickets that I never got paid back for. But if I could request a refund for anything else, it would be This Is 40, because clearly we're pissed off over a decade later. Now, speaking of long time, it's been a long time since the last Indiana Jones film dropped. 2008. So let's go back to 2008. We had films like Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, The Dark Knight, and more. But we also had Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And I stand by my stance that I had fucking 15 years ago. That movie sucked. It was the worst Indiana Jones film, and that scene in South Park made me feel validated as a fan. That was terrible. And you know what? Based on what I'm hearing right now, based on early critical reviews from the James Caan Film Festival, it ain't that much better. So, you guys want to hear a little bit about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny?
Yes, please tell us.
So, folks, what we're about to do is we're going to read you some byline reviews with the publication that printed them. So, let's start out with Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian. He says, Indiana Jones still has an old school class. Okay, that doesn't sound too bad. Next up, James Mottram of the South China Morning Post says, James Mangold brings the character's adventures to a satisfying close. But now it starts to get fun. From Robbie Colton of the Daily Telegraph in the UK. It ultimately feels like a counterfeit of priceless treasure. The shape and the gleam of it might be superficially convincing for a bit, but the shabbier craftsmanship gets all the glaring the longer you look at it. Not a good review. Now, this gets even better from the Irish Times' Donald Clark. Nobody with a brain in their head will compare Dial of Destiny favorably to the first 3 films. Kind of what we were expecting. David Elrich of IndieWire says, an empty slog of a movie that only exists to smooth over any of the stray fan complaints that have splintered the franchise's audience over the last 15 years. The Dial of Destiny is a globe-trotting adventure movie so safe that even its 80-year-old hero never seems to be in any significant danger. All right. Wow. So, currently, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny sits at a 50% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, with 8 reviews from critics. I never expected the film to be rotten, but apparently it is. Now, guys, are you surprised by this early review?
I am, actually.
Elaborate, sir.
Well, it's the climate that we live in, and kind of the type of people that want certain types of movies to do a certain way, right? And I think there were going to be a lot of people, especially people that were willing to ride and die for Disney and Kathleen Kennedy. A lot of people really truly wanted this to be a win and thought that it was going to be a win because, hey, Star Wars isn't that bad, blah, 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 blah. So I was expecting critics to be very favorable for it, but I can't say that I'm surprised the movie actually if that is the case. But yeah, I thought that you're going to have a lot of critics trying to keep that favor with Disney, or at least they were going to put on their rose-tinted glasses and then watch it. So yeah, I'm very surprised that there are this many critics saying nay, sir, nay.
Nay, sir, nay. That's a phrase I don't think you would ever like, Dion.
Oh, fuck.
Nick, are you surprised about the same thing for you, Kendo?
No, man, not at all. I mean, we knew it. We called it. I mean, the last one was terrible as well. And they're trying to bring it back or kill him off and give him to I don't know, the female who's in the movie as well. I forget her fucking name, but she's there.
Hoob?
Yeah,
Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
God damn, dude. Yeah, who was 1137 in Solo? Like, yeah, that was a really fun character. They keep trying to subvert this and like they're gonna pass it on to her or some shit like that. It's like, you can't do that. It's not gonna fucking work. I think the show that they were gonna put up got canceled as well, or it's not going through or something. I've heard some stuff about it.
We never needed a show based on Indiana Jones.
Well,
we had young Indiana Jones 30 years ago, and it wasn't that great.
Tell Disney they want to, as usual, milk everything till it's fucking dead.
I'm telling them right now, they hear this show. Believe me, that's why those people are after us.
That's a good point. But it's just annoying. Like, it's like nobody wants it. Somebody asked for it. I think Harrison Ford's done acting in general. I think he's just done in life, and it's kind of like, why do we keep doing this? Like, nobody wants this. It's not even a relevant character anymore. It's past its prime. Like, it's done. It's done.
Kendo, what do you think about this?
I mean, I'm kind of surprised that they're coming out and trashing on it because, the running cover for Disney is something that they've been doing for a long time. and pretending that their shit's good, like the big blockbuster stuff when it's not. So I'm kind of surprised that they're willing to take it to task, but I'm not surprised it's not any good because shit, we were talking about it when they announced that it wasn't going to be any good, and then the plot leaks and the picture leaks and all that other stuff. Every time it came out, we covered it, and it was the same thing. It was like, man, this doesn't look like it's going to be any good. This is probably going to suck. And yeah, when you know who won the pony, it sucks.
Now, one of the things that we see happen in terms of making excuses for films, it depends on the content of the film. And I hate to say it like this because we actively make content that rallies against these types of talking points. But you think Indiana Jones will not have as many defenders because it's an old white guy, and a movie like Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, or that sequel trilogy has the right viewpoints by today's modern standards? Do you think that's actually like a thing that's going to affect how people receive this film?
I don't think so. Yeah.
I think with the fact that the co-star is a lady, and that's the rumor that it's going to become her franchise. I think you're going to have a lot more defenders and detractors, especially from that arena.
That's fair. I just ask because people make the dumbest excuses. Like Twitter. For anyone that's playing Tears of the Kingdom, Twitter to me is like that weird goo that's on the ground. And if you touch it in Zelda, you lose a heart. Yeah, the gloom. When you touch it, you lose your heart and you can't really move forward. That's what Twitter does to me. So I try to keep out of the Twitter conversations for the most part because it's just a cesspool of stupidity. But I've been kind of burnt out on this whole Miss Marvel thing. The way people talk about, oh, it's racist and sexist to kill her off in a white character's book. Who talks like that? Assholes. Assholes, that's the answer. But
oh man,
Indiana Jones, I don't think this needs to be made. I love Indiana Jones. The thing is, when I talk about this stuff, it kind of hurts. Because as a kid, the thing I wanted more than anything toy-wise was an Indiana Jones action figure. They made a Micro Machines set in the mid-90s, and I had this little, Micro Machines Indiana Jones with a whip. And I used to play with it like it was a regular action figure. I had the cars, the flying wing, all this stuff. I loved Indiana Jones. In the mid-90s, there was nothing coming out from Indiana Jones outside of video games and novels, and that was cool. It was enough. But all I wanted were these toys. And we got toys, but we also get worse movies. And so, for as much as I love Indiana Jones, and I do mean love, that trilogy, if you would have asked me in 2007, what's a better trilogy, Star Wars or Indiana Jones, I'd have said Star Wars, hands down. Because I really believe that if you take the first three Indiana Jones and you compare them to the first original Star Wars films, Indiana Jones wins. I understand that Temple of Doom is not as good as Empire Strikes Back, but Last Crusade blows Return to the Jedi out of the water, and Raiders of the Lost Ark and Star Wars, that's a neck-and-neck battle for what's a better film. So it's really, really hard to decide what the superior trilogy is. I'll ask you guys, based on just those three films in each franchise, what is the better trilogy of that?
Oh, fuck.
See? I'm not wrong. That is a tough question. Folks in the chat, you can also answer this, but I miss when we could have those conversations. What's better, this or that? Because they both won. The fans, we used to win all the time. It used to be, oh man, Last Crusade, Return of the Jedi, this, that. They were all wonderful films that were held in high regard. Now, Indiana Jones just feels like, all joking aside, a relic of the past that's used to sell something that, this generation doesn't even like Indiana Jones. My next question was going to be, do you think this is going to make a bunch of money? I don't think it's going to flop, but I do not believe Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is going to be this summer's biggest hit by a long shot.
No, I think it'll be okay, but it won't be that that good. I mean, there's going to be a severe drop off after the first weekend for sure, because everybody's going to go see it and report about it and give their 2 cents about it, so they can talk about it around the water cooler the next week and things like that. That's what it's going to be reduced to as a talking point, because it's especially with the trailer, we don't know what's going on. We have young Indiana Jones and old Indiana Jones. We have the Dial of Destiny, which is a time travel device. I think that's what's going to happen, and it's a bunch of stuff. Like the timelines are running together, and we don't know what's going to happen. It's just weird. And they're trying to bring all the other movies into this one movie. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't at all. And to comment on the chat, who says that gay Irish girl says they'll use the usual racist incel fans. It's going to be interesting to see how they use that argument, since Harrison Ford is such a big star. Like, we can complain about The Rise of Skywalker, The Force Awakens, any movie that he's appeared in, but he's like, for as big as Tom Cruise is, people have said, oh, Tom Cruise is the last movie star. I will agree with that statement, but Harrison Ford is the last megastar. That dude is well known in every household in America. He's been in more recognizable pictures than any other person that's still alive on the planet. People love Harrison Ford. He might be a dick in real life, but I still love him. That being said, though, I don't know how they're going to say racism, because every character in this movie is white. Like, Harrison Ford's white, Poob is white, Mads Mikkelsen is extra white. He's uber white since he's playing a Nazi. Like, you can't get much whiter than that. This is like a federal tax stamp of films, you know? You ain't dealing with Johnny Bananas. You're dealing with fucking Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm. You can't get any whiter than this shit. So, the whole racism thing is going to fall apart if really stupid media outlets try to use that. And incel fans, it's like, look, if Phoebe Waller-Bridge is the lead of this movie and Harrison Ford is not, that's going to be your problem. If she's just an annoying side character but really doesn't steal the show, the usual arguments are going to fall apart. And if anything, I hope those arguments don't have any validity for this new Indiana Jones film, so we can finally call Lucasfilm out on their bullshit and everybody has to go, well, I guess it did kind of suck. The fans weren't wrong this time. Because we're not wrong ever. It's like they say, the customer's always right. It's not about kissing the consumer's ass. It's about knowing that your decisions will either gain or lose money. And the customers always dictate that. So that's what I hear about the customer's always right. And by the way, folks, we have a nice super chat from our friend Analog Toys, who says, Harrison Ford is one of my favorite childhood heroes. I hate him for being selfish and not wanting the role to be recast. Now, folks, we like to read all the super chats in order, but I wanted to bring Analog Toys to your attention, so you guys can go over and check out the channel, because Tony's a good friend of the channel. We love his content, and I think you guys will enjoy a lot of his videos, including his top 10 toy lines, I believe of the 80s, where he talks about Indiana Jones in good detail. So if you guys like retro blasting and other wonderful toy channels, Analog Toys is the place to be. Well, guys, what do you think about Harrison Ford being recast as Indiana Jones? There's been talk about Chris Pratt and other people. Would you be down for another actor playing Indiana Jones?
No, man. I mean, he's Indiana Jones. Like, he's not that character. He's just not that character. You don't want to see someone else, at least not for another 40 years. You know, while that man's still alive, he is always going to be Indiana Jones, and it's not going to feel real until there's enough space where he's not only dead and gone, but an archived character to reboot. Like, now is not the time.
If they wanted to do that, if they wanted to have the recasting and do somebody else doing the role, they had the golden perfect opportunity to do it when they had Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And it could have been, instead of the movie starting out with the fucking refrigerator getting blown up and all that other bullshit, it could have just been, here's Professor Jones. Dr. Jones is giving a lecture and he leaves and everything like that. And when he leaves out of the hall, he runs into Marion, and it turns out they were married and they had a kid, and now they've got it. And so now their kid can take over the whole thing. You could have done that. That would have been the way to do it. Maybe the son is the archaeologist now, and he's out on adventures. And guess what you can get? You can get the dynamic we had in The Last Crusade with Sean Connery and Harrison Ford. You could have had that dynamic if you would have had an older Harrison Ford, an older Dr. Jones, and he's got his kid. There you go.
That would have been funny if they had like redone some of the scenes from Last Crusade. It'd been like a callback to and then Harrison Ford realizes he's getting old and he's like, well, I need to give this to somebody else, and here you go.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious, man. That would have been really funny, man. Jeez.
Instead of the Nazis, it's the fucking commies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would have. Yeah, you just change the country. That's all that matters. But yeah, that would have worked too. That would have been great. But as we know with Hollywood, they don't have any brains. So we got.
Well, that was the plan with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, but they picked the wrong actor, and the story wasn't
exactly. That motherfucker's crazy. So you that Lucasfilm was like, man, I'm glad that shit didn't work out because that motherfucker's crazy.
Is he last cycle's Ezra Miller? Like, is he on that
No,
level of crazy?
No,
he's
no. No one's
he
on
is.
that level
He
of
is.
crazy.
If David Ruffin were still around, like that motherfucker was beating up his girlfriends and shit. Like he was legit not a good dude.
What if we got Shia LaBeouf to hang out with us on the channel? What would you actually say?
I would
to
be
him?
terrified if he was in person. I'd be like, I don't know what he's going to do, and I don't want to be here for it.
Well, listen, he's a person and shit. I'm not gonna. I've actually, he did a great episode of John Bernthal's podcast.
How is that show? Does John Bernthal have a lot to say, or is he just like, "Hey, Coral," and that's about it?
He's pretty much hey Coral, and he kind of lets people go on their thing and ask questions, and he might he might be like, hey, well, yeah, because when I was with you at blah 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 blah, but he doesn't go like off. Like he lets them talk. I mean, and he definitely, and Shia LaBeouf likes to fucking talk, so he lets him do his thing. So while don't get me wrong, I would never suggest any female that I care about to get into a relationship with Shia LaBeouf. But it's like, you kind of, I don't know. It definitely gives it the dude is talking. I'll say that, but yeah, you talk about a fucking tactical nuke dodged. Could you fucking imagine? And, who knows how the world works? He might not be that level of a dick if Indiana Jones is good, but can you imagine if Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of Crystal Star went off and they gave that franchise to Shia fucking LaBeouf now? Whoo! Whoo-wee!
I'm pretty sure he's not even going to be acknowledged in this next movie. It's like, what happened to your son, Indy? He died. Oh, okay. Because remember,
He's
they're
at
like,
school.
he's off at school. Like, I got him back into college. It's like, they were like, oh yeah, Dad died, Marcus Brody died. It's like Harrison Ford, like all the Indiana Jones characters just die off screen. They don't care about continuity. Oh man, I wanted to like deep down, I was hoping that this Indiana Jones film would have some semblance of quality. And look, we haven't seen the film, we can't accurately judge it yet, but I'm gonna try to trust the critics on this one because anybody that overly praises a movie usually raises red flags for me. People that are honest and call it down the middle, and look, no movie is perfect. Even movies I fucking love, like Star Wars. Oh, Jeff, every frame of Star Wars is perfect. No, it's not. Even with all the special edition changes, there's still matte boxes in the movie. There are still mistakes on screen. That makes it perfect, but those are the special editions. My point is, nothing's above criticism. Even things that I absolutely love. Beverly Hills Cop, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, The Goonies, James Bond. You can critique everything. If you look at these modern movies, these critics want to just do positive reacts only. And that's where it all falls apart for me. That's when I go, I don't really trust this. So that's why I do kind of believe that this movie is going to be all over the place. Because based on the trailer, based on what we've learned, based on these reviews, I haven't seen enough to get me super excited to trust in this film. It looks like it's going to be a CGI fest to make you believe that you'll believe an old man is young again. That should be the tagline for this movie.
Yeah, man, they're going to euthanize him.
They should euthanize him all the way to the bank. Now, I'm going to make a guess, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, an asshole, whatever you want to say. I won't take it personally. If this movie is successful, Harrison Ford will be the first fully digitized actor, meaning he will get scanned into a computer, they will synthesize his voice, and we will see his character's return years after he's dead.
I mean, yeah, you might be right about that. You might be right about that.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't want to be right either, but I mean, if that's the case, they may be able to then like. Or maybe they may in like 5 or 6 years redo Indiana Jones that way then.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
But do we want that?
No, we don't. No, we don't want that. But then, once again, it's Hollywood and their greed, and they're using technology to their advantage. I mean, yeah, they'll fucking do it in a heartbeat. They're like, all right.
But here's the thing, Nick. No one's ever really gone.
Thanks, Kevin Feige.
Isn't that from Star Wars?
Yes.
Red Letter Media? I gotta catch up with my Red Letter Media. It's been literally years since I've watched any of their videos. Have you guys watched them lately?
No.
Nope.
What do they even do these days? I like them. I have no issue with them. Let's see. Red Letter Media. They are still around. And, yeah, they still do Best of the Worst and Guardians of the Galaxy half in the bag. So, we're not here to promote another podcast, folks. They could promote us, but, yeah, okay, they're still around. I've just missed the mark. Wait, how did I get unsubscribed from that channel? That's what fucking happened. I would never unsubscribe. That actually pisses me off. That is not a gag here on the channel. I like that channel. I used to watch their videos religiously. What the fuck?
That's
Sounds like some Susan shenanigans.
Yeah, YouTube fuckery. YouTube fuckery.
It's funny when people will message us, I love your channel. I got unsubscribed. I don't know what happened. Well, just come on back. We'll welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, I mean, we have no control over that. I mean, so YouTube does it. I mean, they just, that's what they do, man. That's it.
Yeah. Folks, WCBS will be here long after YouTube's gone. I'm guessing YouTube will be gone next year after. It's like in the hierarchy of things, it's the Star Wars Galactic Cruiser, Bud Light, YouTube, and Fresh Air. Not the NPR show, but actual Fresh Air.
Okay, all right. I was like, what are we talking about?
We're going to replace Fresh Air with Bronto the Thirst Mutilator. We're going to be okay. That's got electrolytes.
Oh, God. It's what plants crave.
Dude, I was reading an article. That movie is like not banned, but it won't get a high definition re-release because they got all the company rights to like use Costco and Starbucks and this and that, but the companies are embarrassed with their association, so the film kind of has to live just on DVD forever.
I'm okay with that.
Oh God! Well, there's an app for that because there's a 4K, I think, video thing I've seen where you can convert things to 4K. So I mean, give it time, somebody will have the computer power to upscale the whole goddamn thing.
Send me the link.
All they'll need to do after that is upscale the audio from stereo to like 5.1 Atmos, and that's it.
I want old episodes of the Power Rangers in 4K with Dolby Atmos.
Oh
Could you imagine, God. Dion? It's morphin' time, and your fucking house vibrates.
Yeah, that would be.
The Green Ranger saga in 4K, man. Tommy's mullet would look glorious.
Fuck yeah.
So I may or may not be working on a secret side project to launch around Christmas to celebrate the 30th anniversary of my favorite Power Rangers Christmas. Maybe I'm working on it, maybe I'm not. But maybe I've had to watch a couple episodes of Power Rangers for inspiration, and holy shit, that show is crazier than I remember. So, Dion, we should get really wasted and watch that show together.
Absolutely goddamn movie.
It's always morphin' time around these parts.
Dragon
Productions. Jose Canseco! I think the Juggernaut Rangers episode is the best episode of Power Rangers. Folks, if you haven't seen that one, check it out. So, do we think Indiana Jones 5 is going to go any lower than a 50%?
Are we talking audience score or critics?
Critic score. Because they're going to blame the audiences.
It'll hold pretty solid at 50.
Yeah, I was going to say 52.
So, much younger than Harrison Ford actually is.
Correct.
Shit, 30 years younger.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so folks, I know people say, oh, don't watch these movies. We watch them so you don't have to. So join us in about a month and 12 days. Okay, join me for about a month and 12 days.
Yay!
I'll go watch Indiana Jones 5 and review it officially for World Class Bullshitters. Dion, you always like to take a bullet with me because we're best buddies. If you go see Indiana Jones 5, that would make it a lot easier. But no matter what, we will have her. Please go see it on that Thursday night at the first available screening so we can do a whole podcast dedicated to the degradation and graping of Indiana Jones Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Because if Kingdom of the Crystal Skull wasn't bad enough, wait till you see Dial of Destiny. There we go. So, anything else you guys want to say about Indiana Jones?
It's going to suck.
Free Yaya, okay. I'll go on record to say the best Indiana Jones scene is still when he fights the giant Nazi during the Raiders of the Lost Ark fight in front of the giant wing.
Oh, my God.
No, sorry, I take that back. The best scene is the truck chase in Raiders of the Lost Ark. That is maybe the second best film in cinema, it's the second best scene in cinema ever. I still stand by the Death Star battle is just perfect, but the fucking truck chase from Raiders of the Lost Ark, from the music to the action to the suspense, there is barely anything else better. You guys got a favorite part?
The Nazi in front of the propeller is still my favorite Indy. Yeah, I mean everything. I say the bridge in Temple of Doom.
I was gonna say that shit. That was gonna be my answer.
Yeah, you can meet Kali in hell. Like, hell yeah.
No more parachutes. I like that one. That's always.
I do too.
The whole fucking plane scene from Temple of Doom is fantastic.
Temple of Doom's my hands down favorite one. I respect and I say Raiders is the best Indiana Jones film.
Oh god.
But like we all grew up in the 90s when Temple of Doom was like the go-to reference for Indiana Jones. Nobody shit on it, nobody called it racist, nobody dumped on it like negatively. It was just like Temple of Doom was as good as the other ones. The like internet social climate has changed the discourse around Temple of Doom. And Nick, like you said, people were just happy to have their culture in the film. People weren't pissed off about it.
Yeah, and it's and like that's one thing I fucking hate about this modern bullshit is that people who hate it for me. It's like
just say white people on Twitter. You can say this is what you hate about white people on Twitter. That's fine.
Okay, fine. That's what I hate about white people. White extreme leftists on Twitter.
It's not just them. That's why it's so you can say it's one group or whatever. That minimizes the effect that it has, right? It's not. Yeah, it's funny, but it's not just the white left people on Twitter. It's the black left, super, Twitter activist people on Twitter, and then it's then it's all the college age kids, suburban kids on Twitter. It's not just left white people. It's the motherfuckers who haven't seen those people, have never drank a beer with those people, don't have any real life experience, or if they do, it's like, what? Fuck, you fucked up. Like, those motherfuckers.
Dion, there's a coverall phrase for that. They're called stupid people.
I mean, there is
all right, fine, Dion. I'll do it. The people on Twitter. I'll make it nice and broad. Okay, people on Twitter.
Right.
I don't need you to hate things.
Don't blame all the left white people. Some of them is crazy, but they like, man, I don't want to see that.
That's why I said the extreme left white people. Only the extreme ones. Okay, only the extreme ones.
Hey,
but I'll make it.
Black Twitter be saying crazy shit.
That is true. That is very true.
Black Twitter loses its fucking mind, dude.
It does. It's interesting to see
people
that.
People that are on Twitter know exactly what I'm talking about. But the general entity of black, they, and then what's fucking wild about that type of shit is you'll have people that say, super, super crazy shit, but then half of them will be Chris Brown fans. Like, it's fucking wild.
That's very true. But once again, I don't need other people to tell me the movie's offensive in my on my behalf. Like me and my people have nothing wrong with it, so you people need to just kind of fuck
whoa, don't put busting you people out.
What do you mean, you people, Kendo?
You mean you people, Nick?
Nick can say it.
Well, Kendo can say it now too, because
when he's with us, he can say anything he wants.
Yeah, I'm minority adjacent.
He's a friend of the colored folk. That's how Kendo is.
You know what? That's what I want on my tombstone when I die. Put your name on there.
Not cheese and extra pepperoni.
Yeah, no.
But friend of the colored folk.
In the quotation, he was a friend of the colored folk.
They were a musical people.
Yes.
Oh,
all that.
I think the secret to making this episode is so much fun is this wine. So, folks, every week we'll be sponsored by a new bottle of wine. Thank you for watching.
You need some of that under the desk wine, man.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I got to get a new desk now that I'm back. Yeah. I don't have my old desk anymore. Yeah, I'll get a new desk. All right, so we've covered Indiana Jones to the extreme. We're done talking about Indiana Jones. Dion, have you had a chance to pick a number between 1 and 69, sir?
I have not, buddy.
All right, please pick a number between 1 and 69.
Give me a good old-fashioned 69.
What the fuck was that?
Bad Lieutenant, baby.
Port of
Oh,
Call,
my
New
God.
Orleans. That fucking movie is exactly what you think it is. So I'm not going to try to tell you how great it is. You've seen it.
Nick, sail those high seas and get it.
All right, man.
Yeah,
I'll
please
that.
do.
Yeah.
Honestly, I know we joke about this stuff on the air. I would like us to have a comprehensive retrospective on Nicolas Cage's entire career on Twitter, our Twitter, Patreon, and the YouTube membership program, because that's fun. That's hilarious. Could you imagine? I want to hear Dion watch Vampires Kiss and hear him tell us what he thinks about that fucking movie.
Oh God. Well, I will get working on the Nicolas Cage filmography then. So.
Sweet, we're gonna do Con Air. I love that movie so much.
Con Air, so much fun. Put
Con
the
Air,
button
not
back in the
shit.
box.
You sound more like Buffalo Bill than I do.
I know. I was trying not to, but it just came out that way.
I'll come out of the box.
Okay.
All right, so
Did we ever get anybody to figure out that previous Nicolas Cage movie clip?
No, nobody got it right. I have another clip from that movie. I'll play it in a minute after we read the super chats, and we'll see if anybody can figure it out then. How's that sound?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Yes, you did, Samuel. Yes, you did, motherfucker. Up next is TLJ Screwjob, who says, Robo Funbags, dead or alive, you're coming. That's a good one, TLJ Screwjob.
Fair assessment, I guess.
RoboCop, friend all the prostitutes. Breadman... And that's how you break Dion. Breadman Productions. He's not a robot. Breadman Productions, hopefully you make it to Horror Hound, buddy. Last time we did September Horror Hound in Indianapolis, you were there, so hopefully you can do it this time. He asks, if each of you were a Hollywood director, what would be your trademarks, like Sam Raimi having his car at every movie? Can I get a number 3 and a new button? Of course you can. So guys, what would our hallmarks be in every movie?
Full frontal nudity.
Oh, yes. Beaver shots right in there. Bush right in the camera.
Oh, my God.
Honestly, that might be mine. It would be like a hot girl naked in every movie. No, that's Kendo's. I don't want to copy him.
I think I'd always do like a random person always getting headshot in the background.
I like it.
I've thought about this a lot because I've thought about us doing a bunch of movies, and the thing I always start the movie out with in my head is that it always starts out as something you don't think it is. So that would be my thing. It would be this slow burn start to something you think it's going to be, and then in about a minute and a half, it's something else entirely. That's what I would do.
I like it.
Yeah.
In every comic I draw, I actually hide the Death Star. You have to look for it, but the Death Star is in everything I draw. But since we're talking about movies, I think I would cast Paul Rudd in an unrecognizable cameo. We'd have him like in a beard and a wig and all this random shit, but I'd put Paul Rudd in every movie. That'd be my cameo. Or that'd be my go-to Hollywood trademark.
That's a good one.
TLJ Screwjob says, he must have been using Funbag X. Fucking love Batman. Remember that guy that we had on the channel? He was an old patron. We kept talking about getting ripped and taking a walk off the rooftop like Johnny Gobbs.
Yep. Sills Will.
There you go. You remembered. He was local to you, right, Kendo? He was out of the St. Louis area?
Local as in he lived in Missouri, yes, but he was up in Kirksville. So that's like 3.5 hours away from where I lived.
Hey, Dion, from TLJ Screwjob, what comes first? Does D2 get a new Switch, or does Disney stop its wokeness?
Shit. D2 probably gets a new Switch.
Bro, you got to get him a copy of Tears of the Kingdom, and then what you got to do is realize that Legend of Zelda is way better than you remember, and you'll start playing it too.
Yep.
Listen, the Switch that's going to replace his Switch, I'm getting that shit. So before D2 gets a motherfucking Switch, his Switch is going to be my Switch. So he's going to have to put some fucking work in to get a new Switch. Just off the jump. So I'm going to be playing that shit before he's playing that shit. I'll tell you that. I promise you. I'll tell you that.
Buddy, can I highly recommend you buy yourself a new Xbox? You'll have way more games to play.
Listen, I'm thinking about it. I mean, I've been doing the PlayStation Plus thing, playing random games. But yeah, I'm definitely especially when to play Gears of War. I'm for sure getting an Xbox because I need to replay Gears of War 100%.
What I want us to do, seriously, is I want the 4 of us to play through Gears of War 4 and do a Twitch campaign together. All of us on camera, all of us playing the game. Because it's a game of brotherhood. And that's what this channel's about. Pop culture and bullshit and brotherhood.
Hundo Cento.
TLJ Screwjob says, I can't wait to see the hotel closing used in Film Threats Critics Court, The Trial of Disney, charged with Star Wars deletion. Live every Wednesday. Is that Chris Gore? We've had Chris Gore on the channel. Chris Gore is a cool dude. Big fan
awesome,
of his.
Man. Yeah, he's a good dude.
See if we can get him back. Gearstark says, Disney closing the Galactic Star Cruiser. Disney, I'm never going to financially recover from this. Good evening, WCBS. Random old button and new button. Oh, shit, we got to press the buttons for our friend Breadman Productions in a second. But do you think Disney will ever financially recover from any of this?
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, Disney's been on the brink before, and obviously the brink is what made them change a lot of shit. But yeah, I mean, Disney, outside of making some crazy ass financial decisions, Disney's never gonna fail. They may have to pull a lot more things closer to the chest, and especially these last few years, they're gonna have to take a couple more financial losses before they, because they know how to make a good film. I mean, this is Disney we're talking about. This isn't fucking A24 Studios or some shit. This is a fucking.
Are you telling me you don't think Midsummer's the best film ever?
I mean, I hate to break it to you, but it ain't.
It wasn't that good in the first place.
Exactly. But it's gonna take some serious hundreds of millions of dollar losses to kind of get them back on track, because hey, they think this is a business investment for them. But they're in a position to make that investment for a fucking reason, like it or not.
Fair enough. Now let's press some of these buttons. So our friend Breadman Productions requested a number 23 and then a new button. So here's his other button.
Son, this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass.
And then, speaking of fucking, Dion, this button was made for you.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
Oh my god!
That is incredible.
That is
Hope
wonderful.
she got what she wanted.
She did.
That is incredible.
A severance package. And then our friend Gearstark requested a random button and a new button. So here is your random button.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.
No.
And here is your other new button.
Oh, you have fucking no man!
Even saying.
Even fucking Lou, man. So I won't tell you the name of that movie, but it's about Michael Biehn is a mobster's nephew, and Nicolas Cage is the mobster's right-hand man. And so the nephew comes to town, and Nicolas Cage thinks that this nephew is going to replace him, and he becomes paranoid. And then he finds out his girlfriend is sleeping with Lou, who's his boss, played by James Coburn. So I've pretty much given out all the names that you need to figure out this movie, folks. So Google this shit and tell us and get the points for winning.
Deadfall.
There you go. It's Deadfall. Kendo wins. It's a great movie that I've never seen. Mike H.
Nick.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes.
You know what to do.
Man, don't worry. I'm gonna make a separate folder for Nick Cage and all of his glory. Don't worry, it'll happen.
How to get burned. How to get burned.
Oh, dude, if I had enough time,
There you go.
I was.
You
Oh,
burn
my
it
God.
all onto a CD, and that's just what it says on there. How to get burned.
Dude, if you have a bad time watching a Nicolas Cage movie, it's a you problem, not a problem with the film.
I mean, not all of them
Actually,
are great.
actually, I think. Yeah, I
That's
think.
the point.
Yeah, two of his dramatic movies are two of my favorites.
What are those?
Bringing Out the Dead and then 8mm.
Dude, 8mm is great.
8mm is awesome, and Bringing Out the Dead I think was done by Scorsese. Like, it's fucking crazy. I love that movie so much. It's so good.
And don't forget, Leaving Las Vegas. He won an Oscar for that movie. That's
He did. He did.
Look at folks. You can dump on Nicolas Cage all you want. Believe me, we do as well. But like, he is a legit actor who does really bad movies intentionally to pay the bills, and I respect that. So, he's my favorite
highly
for a reason.
highly recommend Renfield if you haven't seen it. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
I'm
agreed.
gonna go check it out.
Yeah,
It's good.
yeah, it is.
On a
it
scale
is,
of 1 to 10, what would you guys give it?
Ooh,
I give it an 8.
Yeah, 8.5, man. It's a lot of fun. It's worth it, definitely.
I respect you guys and I trust your opinion. I wanted to see that film. I've just had a lot of life stuff happen, so I had to see Guardians for the channel and haven't had a chance to see anything else. So I'll add Renfield to the list.
If well, I mean, yeah, if I can acquire it before you get to see it, I'll let you know.
Cool, but you know what? I will not mind paying to see that movie. I like Nicolas
No,
Cage
exactly,
enough
man.
that
No,
I'll drop
it's
bucks.
100% worth your time to go check it out in the theater for sure.
Who's not half bad is that guy Nicholas Hoult, the actor. He's solid, dude. Like
He
he may
is,
not
man,
be
he
a
is.
personal
I like him a
favorite,
lot.
but he's good.
Listen, he's in a lot of good shit.
He was a good beast in the X-Men movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he was wonderful.
he was in there. I liked Warm Bodies. You know, it's a little silly.
So
but
dude, I saw the movie in theaters. My favorite line is when Rob Corddry looks at him and he goes, "Bitches, man."
Yep.
Rob Corddry. God damn it, that guy's fucking talented.
You know, for a minute I was getting worried that Warm Bodies featured Amber Heard, but it's Teresa Palmer instead. She's a much better actress.
Yeah,
And
I
she's less crazy.
had to think about that too for a second. I was like, wait, who was the fucking chick?
If you like her, she's in a movie called Take Me Home Tonight with Topher Grace and Dan Fogler, which is one of those like underrated comedies. Because
the
now
one
it's
where
whatever.
Topher Grace is a high school kid or something.
It's like you're thinking of the right movie, but he's like, I think they're coming back from college and he's kind of a loser and everyone else is kind of successful.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I dug that movie. It's not gonna win any
Is he the
awards, but it's up
T-1000
there.
dad?
No, Michael Bihn's his dad.
Oh, that's right. Gotcha.
How would you mistake Robert Patrick for Michael Biehn? Sir, you are a Terminator heretic. It's almost like you like Dark Fate or something.
Easy.
Thank you to our friend Mike H, who says, cheers. Well, cheers to you, Mike. Thank you very much. Xavier to God says, Ahsoka should have died in Order 66 or Rebels. I agree. I think Ahsoka should have died in Order 66 and we never saw it again. I liked when... Go ahead, Nick.
I was sorry to interrupt you, but I like that the more stuff that Disney's making, the more Order 66 didn't fucking work. It seems like
it's like, oh, Order 66, all the Jedis will be eliminated. It's like, yeah, but not that Jedi, not that Jedi, not that Jedi, not that Jedi. Let's make a video game about the Jedi who survived, and the Jedi who survived, he'll have an apprentice, and we'll make a video game about him too.
Yeah,
they really do cut the legs out from underneath that. You're right.
It's a Phillips 66.
Nobody likes a Phillips.
That's how many Jedi were left over afterwards. Maybe that's what it meant by Order 66. Kill every Jedi except 66 of them.
Joke's on you, there are only 69 to begin with, so they killed 3 Jedi. That's it. It's like, well, Emperor Palpatine, we killed the 3 Jedi you requested. Good. What else, sir? Nothing.
Did you let the hate flow while you did it?
Yeah, sure.
He starts to ask the clones, have you ever heard the story of Darth Plagueis? It's like,
yeah, we've heard this one.
No, Emperor, we haven't. Please tell us again for the 50th time. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Just go on.
He could control life or death. It's like, thanks, Emperor Palpatine. Hey, he's busy telling the story. Let's just fuck around.
God
damn it! Not the Darth Plagueis fucking story again. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Thanks, Emperor.
Yeah. No, we got you, Darth Sidious. Yep, you're good.
Didn't need that promotion. I wouldn't hear that fucking story again.
Mm-hmm. Yes, my lord. Yes. That was a tragedy for sure.
Dude, you know what? We should edit the scene in Return of the Jedi when the Emperor's like, good, let the hate flow through you. It should be Luke Skywalker standing there going, have you ever heard, or the Emperor's talking to Luke going, have you ever heard the story of Darth Plagueis? And Luke tries to kill him because he's tired of hearing that fucking story over and over again. I think we should make that for our Twitter.
I think that's why Darth Vader threw him over the railing. He's like, fuck this story.
No, not again. Just pushes him over. I'm sorry.
He only has one function hand. He's like, fuck it. I got a stump. It'll work. It's okay. Just fuck this guy.
He's like, this motherfucker has ruined my life, put me in this nasty ass suit. Fuck him. I'm tired of hearing this goddamn story. One more, motherfucker.
He could
edit that scene in Jedi, too, to where he's talking to Luke, and before he says anything, instead of saying, like, tell your sister you were right or whatever, he's like, at least I don't have to hear that fucking story again.
And then we edit the whatever. Wait, did Luke ever meet Leia in the new sequel trilogy? Because we could have like dubbed that.
No.
Yeah, they never met.
Well, he forced projection talked to her in the cave thing.
That's what we should dub it when Luke appears to Leia. He's like, "Have you ever heard the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise?" And then he just fucking collapses and dies. My father died from that story. I've died from that story. My sister will die from that story.
Oh my god.
Yeah. If for whatever reason Kylo Ren is extremely sex nuts to hear the story again and again, like when Luke goes to burn all the books, you just see him pop in through the Force Skype call to steal the one book that just says the story of Darth Plagueis.
It's all this Adam Driver saying, "I get to eat nachos and read the story about Darth Plagueis."
Dude, I want that version of the film so fucking bad.
that would actually be a successful sequel trilogy.
More than whatever the fuck they're gonna do with Daisy Ridley now.
Actually, the way they can redeem it is if it's Daisy Ridley, she's fighting, restoring the Jedi Order, and they're like, "Hey Ray, have you ever heard the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise?" And she's like, "No!" And she goes on a fucking murder spree for 2 hours. I'd watch that movie.
Oh my god.
You know what?
You know what? Instead of the Galactic Star Destroyer, they should have done the Mega Maid hotel.
Oh, dude, you can go from suck to blow instantly. It'll be a fucking party.
It's a room upgrade, then there's a fee involved, but yeah, you can do that.
Only in cash. Only in cash.
Dude, sign me up. I'll go to the Disney Star Wars Hotel and get a Mega Maid upgrade for, what is it, $350 a night? Worth it. If you're spending like $3,000 a night, bitch, to stay there, what's an extra $350 for a Mega Maid prostitute?
God, dude, 3,000 should have been a fucking week, like 6 or 7 days of you like doing Star Wars shit.
Our Airbnb for WrestleMania was $2,100 for 5 nights. We weren't even one night of the Disney Star Wars cruise, and we had so much fucking space. It was wonderful.
Yeah, man.
Overkill 161 says, I checked the Disney Cruise Line prices to compare the fake spaceship cruise to a real cruise. A 4-night cruise to the Bahamas for 2 was a better deal. I'm not surprised, honestly, Overkill 161. Disney charges for the brand experience.
Oh,
Who
God.
cares?
What is their cruise line?
The Disney Cruises?
Yeah, it's I know it's another name besides Disney. It's something else. I forget the hell it's called.
Well, it's not Carnival Cruise, because you could go on like 10 Carnival Cruises for $6,000.
I think it is Carnival, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Carnival's Disney.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I have never been on a cruise, but we should go on a WCBS booze cruise. It'd be a good time.
The one I went on, I think, the beginning of last month was Royal Caribbean. Fucking worth it, man.
All right, Nick. So you and I should go on one of those like singles cruises and just go pick up like random like wine moms and have a good time.
Deal.
We'll send videos back to the guys like, "Hey guys, we're on this wine cruise with these random old white ladies. We're having a good time."
Well, there were. I learned this after I got off the fucking ship, and I was looking at the app and everything. There were singles like things going on while I was there, and I completely fucking missed them.
You missed the boat?
No, I didn't miss a boat, but there were like singles activities like on the boat that I just completely fucking missed.
When you got off the boat, did you have to show them your papers?
No, they took a scan of my face apparently, and they knew that I was American from that.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah,
I'm glad times have changed.
Yeah, because I got to the line and I was like, oh shit, where's my passport? Where the fuck is it? And the lady's like, no, just look at the camera, and like looked at me and it turned green. And I was like, oh, that's terrifying. Thanks.
Yeah. Like, oh, good. They can recognize me just by my face now. That's awesome.
Well, also the key card for your room the key card for your room that is sitting in the fucking key, the room thing when you walk up to it, it's not just securely in the room. Has your passport information on it along with your debit card that's attached to the app, and your other things that are on there as well. So
does it know your blood type?
I think it fucking does. But so this way, whenever you get off the ship and go back for excursions and stuff like that, you don't have to bring your passport actually with you. So, but I kept mine, and I melted it, and I fucking destroyed it because I was like, I don't want anybody to get this shit.
I wonder if you needed your passport to go on the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, since they take you to different planets. That's always been a concern. That's why I never went personally. So
You couldn't get your passport.
shit, I got my
I mean, it
passport.
makes
I'm ready to
sense.
go.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Dude, we're going to Japan in 2 years for the channel. I have a passport, so
I can't wait for that. It's gonna be nuts.
I'm gonna scare every Japanese person I can. I want to try to. We should go try to pick up Japanese women and see if we can scare them off. Like, oh my god, giant Americans! Yes.
They're gonna have you. They're gonna charge double for you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Hey, it'll be a life-changing experience. I'll pay for that just to find. Never mind.
Oh my god.
They'll never forget me. Xavier to God. Speaking of a name we'll never forget, Nick, have you seen Winnie the Pooh: Blood and Honey?
I have not, but I did hear that they're making a part 2. So I guess the first one was successful.
Well, fuck yeah. I want to see this film. I like to support all horror movies, except the new Evil Dead, because fuck that movie.
I heard that's bad.
I watched it, and it was. I mean, it's basically just them like doing a bunch of member berries for the other movies. That's all it is.
Is Bruce Campbell involved?
No, not at all.
Then I can't support it. Sorry.
I understand entirely. Also, it seems like there are 3 books as opposed to just the one. That's the new story, and that's what you hear in the movie now. Like there are 3 Necronomicons, not one. So they're trying to. Yeah, so they're trying to mix in the one from the 80s, the one from 2013, and the one in this movie, as that there are like 3 Necronomicons.
So there's an Evil Dead multiverse now?
Yes, there is, Kendo. Yes, there is.
That is so dumb.
Yeah.
Multiverses suck.
Listen, Evil Dead ended for me with the show. The show was a great cap. That 3-season arc was perfect. I loved it.
It would have only been better if they could have made more seasons.
Well, if people actually fucking paid for it, then yeah, it would have been great, but nobody wanted to pay for it.
Horror fans are cheap, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how it rolls, man. Yeah, it was fun. It was funny because I think I sent you the video about that where Bruce Campbell was doing a stage thing, and he's like, "Oh, we had this wonderful show, but it was on Stars." Everyone's like, "What? What Stars?" And because apparently he was getting messages recently about people are finding the show on Netflix now because they're like, "Oh, you did a show, we didn't know about it," and it's like we did this like 5 years ago.
And it was such a good show, dude. Especially that first episode that was directed by Sam Raimi. It felt like Army of Darkness. It was great.
Entirely was so much goddamn fun. I think the game that's out now represents that show really fucking well. Like it kind of has that feel to it, and it's so much fun. But no, those 3 seasons of that show I look forward to those all the time. I look forward to the new seasons. It was a great show. I watched it when it came out, dude. It was so much fun. And I wish we. I mean, I'm glad we got 3 solid seasons, and it ended, you know, in a nice arc. But I would have liked 5.
Oh, dude, yeah.
You know,
sometimes more is truly more.
Yeah. But no, I have all the seasons on Blu-ray. I have the disc on Blu-ray. Like it's fucking wonderful. It's a good show.
So our friend G Game Master 16 says, if they paid me $1 million to go to the Star Wars Star Cruiser, I still would not go. I would go if they had Han, Luke, and Leia and Darth Vader. Dude, if you could go on a fucking Star Cruiser where Darth Vader is on the prowl and you got to run from stormtroopers, honestly, we probably would have went.
Cloud City Hotel. There you go. Cloud City Hotel.
Nah, dude, Cloud City Brothel.
$3,000 a night,
space
bitch. It should have been something like that.
Cloud City Brothel. There you go.
Dude, the Ugnaughts bring your women to your room. Billy D. Williams is actually there. He comes to each room. Hey, have a good night on me.
Hey, you're Billy D. Williams. You take the money.
And he gives you 40 as a nightcap.
Yeah, let's say he gives you a Colt 45, and you're like, well,
45
shit.
as a nightcap. Like, here you go.
You truly belong with us amongst the clouds.
Does he deliver the Colt 45 in one of those Star Wars ice cream makers?
Sure, why not?
Cool.
As long as it's not extra. As long as it's not extra, it's fine.
Nah, man, it's Colt. It's Billy D. Williams. All right, that guy understands the value of a buck. I don't know what that means. Anyway, TLJ Screwshop says, what's your favorite scene from Rush Hour 1? Mine are the same when Carter gets the FBI job. Stop playing. I don't play. That's a good scene.
When he's doing the call, and he's like $15 million for you, Chelsea Clinton.
Oh yeah.
And he's taking down the order like 20, I'm 10 million in 20s. Million, like he's doing the order of like the money because he's taking it down like fucking like Domino's order or something. It's hilarious.
You want any fives with that?
Shit, the dude that played as captain in one just died.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, that sucks.
My favorite scene, I can't really say the words on this channel, so I won't, but I do like the part when he goes into the back room and he's like, MC Hammer Daddy, put the gun down. That always makes me laugh.
Oh god.
Yep.
Oh man. You know what? I think he had the same friends as when he was in Money Talks.
Oh god, dude.
Shit.
I was gonna ask you guys, like, gun to your head, what do you take? Money Talks or Rush Hour 1?
I think I gotta take Money Talks, dude.
Yeah.
Same. It's a much better
I
movie.
fucking love Rush Hour 1, but Money Talks is such a hidden fucking gem.
Dude.
Yeah, it's a little bit more epic. The whole thing that goes down in that stadium is ridiculous. It's so much fun.
And I know that Rush Hour has Rush Hour has a great cast, but Money Talks has a better cast. It's got Charlie Sheen, Chris Tucker, fucking Paul Gleason, Paul Sorvino is, dude, when he's like, are you telling me he's not half black, he's full? Oh, and he's like freaking out. And then Victor Moe Jr. is amazing.
And he calls Charlie Sheen a limp dick bastard. And it's
he is not limp dick, Daddy. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that whole thing, I'm just like, shit.
Like
fucking Heather goddamn Locklear.
Yep.
Oh, she was fine as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
You are fat.
Man.
Pretty hot and tempting.
Oh yeah, that whole thing. God damn, dude. Oh,
You're his first, his last, his everything.
Is that Barry White?
Barry White?
That's the fucking lady from Alien, dude. That's a great movie. Like, folks, if you haven't seen Money Talks, stop what you're doing. Don't go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Fuck Indiana Jones 5. Go get yourselves a copy of Money Talks. It starts out with a Barry White song. It ends with a Barry White song. It is amazing.
It does, doesn't it?
Yep. The mom from the Hughleys is in it.
Yeah.
She was fine as fuck, even on the Hughleys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, real talk, anytime My First, My Last, My Everything by Barry White comes on, I start singing it like Chris Tucker. Like when he goes, you're the only one, baby, you're the only one. So don't ever ride in a car with me when that song plays, because I am not going to be able to hold back.
Dude, you're also the one who begs for Axel F 18 times. Calm down, all right?
Oh, so I went out last night to the bar, and I was hanging out downtown for a little bit, and on my way back, I may or may not have turned on every version of Axel F from Beverly Hills Cop 2. Just saying, it could have not happened, or it could have happened.
Does not surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me either. I was having a good time. TLJ Screwjob says, thanks, Bud/Miller. Prohibition worked 103 years later. So Georgian says, you don't want to buy a CCP beer? There's even one Chinese liquor that's true rot gut. Now, Taiwanese beer, best stuff on earth.
I have not had Taiwanese beer, but I've heard good things.
I have not had Taiwanese anything except food.
Taiwanese beer.
You're going to make John Cena apologize.
That's the sign of a good quality product. If you can get John Cena to apologize. The Invisible Man says he's sorry.
By the way, Jeff, I saw the movie. Was it Vacation Friends with him in it? He is legitimately funny in that movie.
I'm glad you watched it.
It is hilarious. It's so good.
Dude, I fucking it's hard. Like I don't like what he said about the shit last year or 2 years ago, but like his movies, the actor John Cena is fucking solid. The wrestler John Cena, not so much.
But I think when you have him in kind of that, like, I guess I don't know if it's a raunchy comedy, but like in that kind of unhinged role like that, where he's not, has to do shit for Disney or DC or whatever like that, he's, or whatever. I think when you put him in that kind of role, he does really well. That's what it is.
Fucking Brie Larson and Nissan.
Oh, dude, I was muted for a second, but I agree 100% with you, Nick. I think he does shine in that role. So, for as much as I dislike John Cena, I gotta, give credit where credit's due.
Yep.
So up next, we have our friend from, we read Sejorgens, Dion, Xavier DeGott says, Dion and Kendo, who would you guys say is the best NFL quarterback and receiver of all time?
Oh, best quarterback and receiver.
Well, receiver, I'm going Calvin Johnson.
Joe
Best
Montana.
receiver. Who?
I said Joe Montana.
It's Joe Montana.
Yeah.
Quarterback, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if I can talk about this. I'm just messing around.
Bobby
Joe
Boucher.
Montana is a good choice. I mean, in all reality. But yeah, I'm going with Calvin Johnson, on paper greatest wide receiver ever. Quarterback, as much as it motherfucking pains me, if I'm saying pure fucking quarterback, I gotta go Peyton Manning. Like that dude, what he was able to do, and he had a great arm. Gotta go with Peyton Manning. And fuck Tom Brady.
Let's see. Greatest quarterback and receiver of all time. Oh, receiver, I'm going to go with Randy Moss. And for quarterback, I don't want to say Montana because that's probably the right answer. So, yeah, we'll just go with Montana and Randy Moss.
You know I wasn't asked this question, but I do feel like I should chime in as the host. So, you guys have given good answers, but I'd like to say that the best quarterback of all time played for the New York Jets, and his name is Flash Gordon.
Wow. I was really worried you were going to say Joe Namath there for a second. I was going to be like, what? No.
Broadway Joe?
Yeah, he was all right, but he wasn't that great.
Look, I'd say Joe Burrow before I'd say... Actually, no, I wouldn't. Joe Namath is legit. Like, look, I do like Joe Burrow, but come on. It's not like I'm going to act like he's the world's greatest. He's great right now, but we got to see how everything pans out in the grand scheme of things. Guys like Ben Roethlisberger have had more success than him, so that's a topic for another time.
That's all right. In 10 years, this conversation will be really easy when we can just say, oh, Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, he died on the way to his home planet? We got it. Oh, jeez. Kansas City is a dangerous place, Kendo, right?
I don't think he actually lives in... Look, okay. Kansas City could be the second coming of RoboCop version of Detroit. That man can still walk down the street and nobody's going to fuck with him.
You know where he would get beat up?
He's essentially ascended to God status in Kansas City.
Well, he should not step foot in Cincinnati because they will shank him.
Yeah, probably, because it's the one hope they have to try to overcome him in the AFC.
But they've beat him multiple times recently. Like, it's not like it's never happened.
No. He didn't win it this year, though. I'm just saying.
That's true, but last year. Anyway, well, it's not about last year or the year before. It's about this coming season. So, folks, we will cover none of the football games this season. We will talk about football very little. We'll probably mention it in passing as we're drunk texting each other every Sunday.
Probably.
I'm going to Phil's house to watch football. He's got... Well, it's funny. It's like he's got a big screen. My TV's bigger. I got a better sound bar. Fuck it. I could watch football at home. I just want to hang out with my friends. So.
Well, didn't make him come over to yours.
Yeah, but he's got a house. So that's pretty nice.
That works.
He's cool. Anyway, long story short, TLJ Screwjob says, wow, 325 watching in the stream. It's about time, YouTube. Yes, folks, that's why we ask for the thumbs up, because YouTube likes to not promote us. But that's okay. We got you guys to keep us floating. We'll entertain you. You keep us going. We'll keep being here. It's been 7 years of WCBS. We're going for 10 million. Not years, but subscribers. So be on the lookout. Could you imagine if we're going to do this for 10 million years?
I mean, apparently the only one that's going to be left from us in the year 35 is going to be Kendo, so...
Well, I mean, with the way things are going and everything like that, we could just get our shit uploaded into a database and ChatGPT could just fucking make shows for us each week, and it could just be like our voices doing this.
And here's the funny thing, Kendo, you joke, but in about 2 years, that's going to be entirely possible.
Yeah, well, that's why, we have children. They can take over for us, and they can just keep producing the show long after we're dead.
Nick, you and I don't have children. I feel like we're just being mocked right now.
Look, a little bit. I mean, like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah and no. I mean,
it'll happen eventually. I'm not gonna believe me. Children are forever. They don't go away when you're tired of them.
I'm not against the idea. It's just like, not right now.
No, not right now. Indeed, I'm actually enjoying my life, so I don't want to be like, oh, great, I'm a father now. Damn it.
Oh, it's not so bad.
I know, but you're at that stage in your life. I'm not. Enrique Vasquez, what's up, bud? He says, so according to Pro, Kathleen Kennedy is hoity-toity at Cannes and her place in People, and the news was dropping that she was there. I'm going to listen to Jurassic Park Burn in Hell. Number 23, please.
Oh,
well, what's a number 23 button? Since we've pressed most of the new ones, I'll press this one again.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
I just like the middle girl. She's something special. I'll have to check up with WDW Pro and Valiant Renegade. Friends of the channel, folks. We've had them on the show many, many times, and we'll continue to work with them. So check them out, support them. They're good dudes. Xavier to God says, so I heard Fast X will be a 3-parter / trilogy.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So it'll be Fast 13 by the time, or shit, Fast 12 by the time we get to the end of the trilogy. Isn't that great, guys? 12 Fast and Furious movies. We can't get... It takes a decade to make a James Bond movie, but we'll get 55 Fast and Furious movies by the end of the week.
Yeah, I mean, and they're just ridiculous and pointless and everything else. So,
should I get ChatGPT to write us a Fast and Furious movie?
Yes, yes. You know what? I'll see if I can find a celebrity voice thing if we can get the actors to read the parts. If I could get Vin Diesel and Paul Walker and all the other ones to read the parts.
Oh my god, this is like writing up a storm, dude. It's given us like literally 7 paragraphs already.
Oh jeez.
We'll read our ChatGPT prompts at the end of the show. Xavier to God, I'm not ready for a trilogy of family. Salad King, what is up? He says, heard there's a little cha-ching, or here's a little cha-ching cha-ching. Please split this evenly between you all to go buy yourselves 1 Bud Light each.
No, you're all right.
How about at Horror Hound, we should just get a keg of beer. Like, let's just get a fucking keg and take it into the convention. We'll put it under a blanket. No, Nick, I got it. We'll take our keg and we'll disguise it as Cousin It from the Addams Family. And every time somebody comes up to the table, like, oh, your Cousin It is so cool. And then we fucking pour ourselves a beer from Cousin It. How's that sound?
That sounds good. Sounds good.
All right.
Nice plan.
I'm thinking about the future, like Eckhart. According to this comes from TLJ Screwjob. Thank you very much, TLJ Screwjob. He says, according to VR, Valiant Renegade and WDW Pro, or Doomcock, maybe all three, Disney was saying they would add 4 million subscribers. So they really lost 8 million subscribers. The numbers spell disaster for them.
Yeah, the only service of theirs that gained subscribers, I think, was Hulu by itself.
Well, ESPN Plus did too.
Yeah, a few, and I think they're trying to do something with ESPN Plus right now, and they're trying to figure something out or get somebody to do some show on it or something. They're trying to make it profitable, but good luck with that.
Dion has it. I don't. Do you have it, Nick Kendo?
I don't have it.
What? ESPN Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had ESPN Plus. They raised the price on it, and then I wanted Hulu, so I just got the whole Disney, Hulu, ESPN shebang, commercial free for like $18 a month, whatever it is. ESPN Plus is fine. I love ESPN Plus. They've got the Big 12 network, so I can keep up on everything sports related in the Big 12 and out of market hockey games. And I don't live in the market of my team anymore, so I get to watch those as well, much to my disappointment most of this season. So yeah, I like ESPN Plus.
We don't have a good hockey team in Cincinnati. We have the Cyclones, and they kind of suck. So, it is what it is. Our friend Xavier to God says, did you guys know The Rock owns most of his movies and they're produced by his studio, so his movie roles are literally made for him, and he's in full control.
Oh, so that's why they suck. Gotcha.
I will preface this every time. The wrestler The Rock is my personal hero. The actor The Rock, not so much. But the person The Rock is cool. I like him a lot. But, like, if you pay attention, his ex-wife is his producer. She produces all the movies. And that guy, Hiram Garcia, is his ex-brother-in-law. It's all one blend of, like, that's it. That's just all it is. It's just his ex-wife and his brother-in-law, and they make all the movies about him. And
I mean, that's gotta be really rough to have your ex-wife like produce your movies. Like,
Apparently, they're like really good friends and everything because that triumvirate's the ones that run the XFL as well.
That's
really?
That's fucking weird, man. That's
because his ex-wife, Danny Garcia, she went to at least one Battlehawks game because the Battlehawks had the highest attendance of any team in the XFL this year, and so
do you know why that is?
Because St. Louis wants a football team really, really bad, and
Cacaw's the law, bro.
Well, there's that too. Yeah, Cacaw is most definitely the law, and it's just a shame we didn't get to exude that law in the playoffs. But it is what it is.
Well, Xavier to God, yes, we did know a lot about that. I always feel weird because it's like I don't like the movies, but the wrestling was so good back in the day. I will give a pass to everything else. It's like nothing was exciting. Nothing was as exciting as the Attitude Era when The Rock was fighting Stone Cold and Triple H and all those great guys. Nowadays, I don't care about the fucking movies. It's just not important to me. Xavier to God, thank you very much. Darian217 says, my brother and myself are heading to Las Vegas next Saturday, May 27th, weekend for AEW Double or Nothing. Family button. Kendo, what's the AEW card? Do you know any of the matches off the top of your head?
No.
Nor do I, but I'll see if Phil's going to stream the pay-per-view and we'll go over there and watch it. I do like AEW. I'm thinking about buying their game to support them, but I don't even know what's going on the card, so...
Well, that game still hasn't come out yet, and I don't know if it's ever going to come out.
A new image leaked this week.
Okay,
it was of CM Punk. So.
Yeah, because CM Punk is going to be back. Apparently, there's a couple things going on with that. Number one, he's due back in with the company shortly. I think he's supposed to be possibly re-debuting when they go to Chicago next month. And they're going to have a Saturday show allegedly to give him a brand, or they're essentially going to create their own brand split to keep him away from the fucking EVPs because they can't get along.
Is he really that valuable?
Yeah, he's probably their highest profile star they have, unless maybe Daniel Bryan.
I was going to guess Daniel Bryan because he had just as much success in the WWE, if not more. He actually main evented WrestleMania, unlike CM Punk. So,
but yeah, if Punk comes back, you'll see their viewership numbers jump up again.
I just want WWE to have competition, but I got to give the WWE credit. That triple threat match that they had on SmackDown between AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, and was it Edge? That was a damn good match. Check it out if you haven't watched it yet.
I'll get around to it eventually.
It's on Hulu. You got time.
I know, but do I want to spend my time watching WWE? That's the question.
Dude, the match is only about 10 minutes long. I turned off SmackDown afterwards. So,
but that's 10 minutes. Like that, I could be doing something other than watching WWE.
That's true. You could be watching, or you could be playing Zelda.
Yeah. Well, that's an extremely accurate statement. I'd much rather be playing Zelda than watching WWE.
That's what I'm going to be doing after tonight's show. I'm going to turn on Tears of the Kingdom for about 30 minutes.
Tears of the Fears. That's what they should have called it.
That's what I want to call it. Everybody wants to rule Hyrule. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. The shit writes itself.
Or is it everybody wants to Hyrule the world? See?
I like that wordplay way better.
So do I. Maybe we should write the lyrics later. Anyway, Darian217, thanks for coming out to the WrestleMania hangout, and here's your family button.
I don't have friends. I got family.
It doesn't matter! Oh
no.
Let's give you a real family button.
I don't have friends. I got
Okay, fine. I promise I'll give you the real family button.
But what's real is family.
That counts.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Thank you, Darian217. All right, here we go. Fuck, Marry, Kill, Date from TLJ Screwjob. Jeff versus Jimmy Kimmel. Dion versus Simple Zach. Kendo versus Woodrow Wilson. And Nick versus Rob Zombie. That's it. We officially have all of our Hollywood rivals. Oh my God, yes. Nick, would you like to go first?
Fuck, Kill, that's... I mean,
and date.
In date. No, I'm gonna let you go first.
Fine, I'll go first. I'm gonna marry Kendo versus Woodrow Wilson because that is a fucking feud that has spanned the test of time and will never stop. I will kill Dion versus Simple Zack Snyder because Zack Snyder is his own worst enemy. I'll fuck me versus Jimmy Kimmel because I will perennially hate that motherfucker. And then I'll date Nick versus Rob Zombie because Nick, you're the most mild-mannered of us, and when the fangs come out about Rob Zombie, it's fucking swift and vengeful, and I like that.
It's gonna be like that if I ever see him in public.
Don't worry. Look, people can smell Rob Zombie coming a mile away.
That's for goddamn sure. Jeez, him and his wife.
Does she have neck dirt? She's like nasty. I don't like Sherry Moon Zombie.
I don't know, man. It looks like they live in the same trailer park. I swear to God, yeah.
Is it down by the river?
It's no, down by the river would assume that they'd wash themselves. This is more down by the fucking shit factory or something.
Oh, they live next to 3 Mile Island. They're
there
nuclear.
You go.
Got it.
There you go. Yeah, it's no.
So, anyone else want to chime in on that one?
I would marry Nick versus Rob Zombie because I know that shit will get out of hand and get extremely brutal very quickly. I would fuck Dion versus Zack Snyder because that one will get very brutal and violent, but it won't last nearly as long. I'll date Jeff versus Jimmy Kimmel because I know Jimmy Kimmel's going to be turned into a giant pussy if he was ever confronted, and he'd immediately back down and cower and run away. And I'm going to kill me versus Woodrow Wilson because he's fucking dead. So it would just be me cussing at his tombstone and spitting on it.
I've always wanted to do like WCBS daily comic strips, and I could just see you kicking Woodrow Wilson's grave going, "Fuck you, racist." Put that on a t-shirt.
Let's see. Yeah, I would definitely marry Jeff versus Jimmy Kimmel because I'd love to see that fight. Even with him cowering in the corner, I think you get a few nice, giant kicks into him or whatever. That'd be fun to see.
Jeff doesn't strike me as the type of guy that would be kicking the shit out of him while he's on the ground cowering in fear.
But you got to do it, though. It's Jimmy Kimmel. He deserves it. It's fine.
I know he deserves it, and I wouldn't fault Jeff for doing it. He's just too nice.
That's true.
That is accurate. I'd probably give him a chance to. Nah, man. This is the one time I'm going to show my dark side. He's fucking toast.
Yeah, of course, man. That's why.
He's toast.
Yeah, that's why. Let's see. Marry that. Definitely date Dion versus Simple Jack because it's Simple Zach. That would be fun to see as well. Because that would once again. I mean, I'm never for with somebody beating somebody retarded, but it's fine. That has to happen sometimes.
What if they already are?
If they've made it in Hollywood and they've done a bad job, then they deserve to be beaten. I'll definitely kill Kendo versus Woodrow Wilson because, like Kendo said, Woodrow Wilson's dead, and I guess fuck me, Rob Zombie or that fight or whatever it is. I guess we'll go with that because I really want to beat the shit out of him, like real badly, like super badly. I think he deserves that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, Kendo's not really a fan of him either. If you ever heard our reviews of his movies that we did on Patreon, I think.
God, they were bad.
2 years ago.
Those movies sucked. Rob Zombie, Halloween 1 and 2. And anybody that tries to justify it, they're like, well, I like seeing where Michael Myers came from. I'm like, he was bullied. Okay? Why are you trying to feel... Yes, it's not nice to bully people, but why do you want to feel sympathy for a brutal murderer? And then I realized that a lot of those people in that Halloween group, I think they've got some kind of weird I want to be stabbed to death by like a serial murderer fetish type thing going on.
That's probably true. That's very accurate.
They've got some serious personal issues, or not all their dogs are barking.
It's like those people that like want to be cannibalized. Have you ever heard those stories online?
Yep.
They're fucking gross.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, there's the woman who wanted to be born blind, and she is now.
Yeah, she
That-
fucking bleached her eyes because she's a fucking idiot.
Yep, that's a thing.
That's a real thing. Ugh.
That's a real thing. That's a real
For
thing.
her, yes. I don't know if that's a real thing for most of the society, but this whole being able to pick and choose what you are type situation, she was like, yeah, I've always felt that I should be blind. And so now she's like trans vision, I guess.
Trans optical.
Yeah, trans optical.
Who are we to judge? If you want to blind yourself,
Well,
more
and
power
then
to
there are
you.
also other people who choose to be amputees.
That's fucking weird to me.
That's
Like,
also a thing too. Yeah.
Nobody really. Never mind. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. That is fucked up.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Oh,
Thing.
I'm happy that.
I don't know. I'm transparent. My pronouns are who, where. That's how I look at it.
I'm going to change my name. My pronouns are Wares and Waldo because I just want to be referred to in that way. TLJ Screwjob says, "Can I get you said the secret word button? We do have something that sounds like this."
You found my secret button. Lucky you. Lucky me. It's so creepy when I do it. Lucky you.
Thank you there, TLJ Screwjob. Again, TLJ Screwjob says, WDW Pro put out a video recently, and in the video it was discussed which order to watch the Indy trilogy, release or chronological. How about you guys?
It doesn't. For those three movies, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
No.
Yeah, it really, really doesn't, because you win. You win because you're watching three great movies. Like that's it.
I agree with that. My official answer would be chronological or release order because yes, you want to watch Last Crusade, or you want to watch Raiders, Temple, and Last Crusade. The reason I argue that, it doesn't make sense to watch them in chronological order because the gag where Indiana Jones goes to grab for his pistol makes no sense because I keep calling it Last Crusade. I just want to watch that movie. But in Temple of Doom, they do a callback to the Cairo market scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark, and they even do the music. So the music doesn't make sense unless you've watched Raiders first. So I'm going to go with release order always.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Yep, that's my answer too. Watch the three in release order, and then if your set comes with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, fucking launch that thing like a frisbee.
Wow! With a fucking Wilhelm scream to boot.
Yeah.
Boar Legion says, Michael French is correct that Indiana Jones should have been recast like 007. Love you, Tony Analog Toys. Love you, WCBS. And that's the bottom line. What?
Listen, if we're gonna redo Indy, just make it Brendan Fraser. Just have him work out, and
I could live with that.
And let Brendan Fraser be it. Hey, Short Round can come back. Okay, just saying.
Yeah.
I would love to watch a movie where it's Short Round and Brendan Fraser playing Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Or do Mummy 4 and have Short Round wear the Indy hat and run into that character. That's it. Do that.
That's better.
Yeah, just do that. Yeah. And and mention Indy not by name, but like, the professor. Just call him that. Be done with it. There you go.
One thing they should have, like, if I had the power to go back in time and control things, instead of having Indiana Jones 5 today, we would have had Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade in 1989, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, the film, in 1992, Indiana Jones and whatever in 1995 or 6, and then we would have finalized in 1999 or the year 2000, we would have done the final Indiana Jones film. It could have been Indiana Jones and the Fountain of Youth, Indiana Jones meets the Space Aliens, I don't care, but I would have ended Indiana
Jones and the Whore of Babylon.
Oh, dude, I'd watch that one. Wait, is that the other title for this new film? Is Phoebe Waller-Bridge the Whore of Babylon?
Sure, why not? I mean,
she's probably more of a succubus.
I say her relevance.
She definitely does suck.
Kind of, to me, signals maybe we're in the end times.
Well, we have to elevate the garbage. But Boar Legion, Thank you very much for your very generous super chat. Folks, if you want great takes, check out Retroblast, an awesome channel. Highly recommend. And if you want to hear us or me interview or just hang out with Michael from Retroblasting, he's been on a handful of streams as well as a wonderful video series where we talk about Toys R Us, Star Wars toys, and the declining interest in pop culture. So that is on our WCBS channel. Just type in Retroblasting or Michael, and you'll find the content here on the channel. All right, guys. Matt G has a hard question. Back to the Future trilogy versus Ghostbusters 1, 2, and Afterlife.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Look, Ghostbusters versus Back to the Future is a hard decision. But Ghostbusters 2 versus Back to the Future 2 is easy. Mm-hmm. And I might like Afterlife as much as Back to the Future 3, but I really have to think about it before I could give you that decision.
I mean, it's a nice 3. It really is. They went back and did it correctly. It was very well done. But it was too late, I think, for what they did. They should have done that in the beginning and skipped over the whole bullshit of having the other one and just, save themselves the money.
Agreed.
Yep.
But I do want to stand by that scene where Egon appears at the end. That is such a good scene.
100%, man.
God,
yes. And like even showing his silhouette in the beginning and him driving the car and that whole thing, like the whole premise was wonderful. And yeah, seeing him at the end was really great too. And I love how his ghost was the director's dad. He was the stand-in for that ghost.
They've both passed away, sadly. Ivan Reitman as well as Harold Ramis.
Yep. And Ivan Reitman's done a bunch of great movies.
Didn't he direct Twins?
I think so.
That's not one of those great ones. I'm just messing with
you.
No,
God, man.
Dude, his daughter is a decent actress too. She's been on It's Always Sunny, and she's been in other stuff. She's in I Love You, Man. Yeah, Ivan Reitman directed Twins.
He also did Kindergarten Cop.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor. I'm a little too inebriated to do a better Arnold Schwarzenegger. I apologize. TLJ Screwjob says, the four of you should do a Patreon video where you watch the Red Letter Media Nightmare on Elm Street trivia videos and see how well you do versus Mike and Jay.
Oh,
all right. Seriously, I love that kind of shit.
Oh, my God.
The one thing we want you guys to do is recommend stuff to talk about on Patreon, social media, other avenues, excuse me. We love to please, so we aim to please. We would love to give you guys more content like that. So TLJ Screwjob, Nick Kendo, hold me to this. We should do this one. We should play that game.
Okay.
Xavier to God says, fuck, marry, kill. Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, and The Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, this one's for you, man.
All right. Well, I will kill The Amazing Spider-Man. I'll fuck Spider-Man Homecoming, and I'll marry Far From Home, because while I don't like any of these movies that much, that's the order that I can tolerate them in the most. Now, I'll be completely transparent. If The Amazing Spider-Man had a better costume, that would probably be my fuck. But Andrew Garfield is an okay actor. Actually, let me rephrase it. He's a solid actor, and I like as a person. He seems like a nice enough guy. But his first Spider-Man movie's dog shit. Don't even get me started on it. I hated it 10 years ago, 11 years ago even, and I still don't like it today. And the sequel is really shitty. But he redeemed himself in that new one, and I thought he was great to the point where I bought his action figure, and I'm ready to support him. That being said, I gave my review, so there we go. Jack White says, just call them SJWs or leftists. Oh, the old SJWs, man. Those people just can't create anything.
Yeah, I'll make sure to do that next time so I can, not trigger Dion.
Triggered. Here's a fun one, guys, from TLJ Screwjob. Fuck, marry, kill. The truck chase, the bridge scene, or the propeller fight, all from Indiana Jones films.
Oh, marry the bridge scene, fuck the propeller scene, and kill the truck scene.
Nick?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
That hurts me. That hurts me. I'm gonna
because that propeller fight is so iconic that they still have it at the MGM, in California. Like whenever they do the reenactments on the stage play, they still have that's still part of their act.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I'm gonna marry the truck chase because it is my second favorite scene in cinema. I will fuck the propeller fight, and even though I hate to do it, I'll kill the bridge scene, because it's a great scene, but it's not as great as the other two. Jack White, thank you very much for all your generosity. He says, and it's generally upper middle class, if not wealthy white people, aka NIMBYs, to see the Martha's Vineyard migrant story, for an example. Yeah, I'm sorry. Honestly, I forgot the context of what we were talking about a little earlier. So, do you guys remember?
Oh yeah, I was you asked me, we were talking about Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, and you were saying, oh, people are retroactively mad for Indian people in Temple of Doom because it was exploiting them or something, and we talked about it way earlier, saying how we were just happy to be in a movie and be shown in American cinema.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Thank
I
you.
was
Honestly, thanks for reminding me.
No, it's fine. And yeah, this is somebody's just referring to that, so it's fine. But no, man, I mean that's how it is.
Thank you, Jack White. He also says, and the new Rurouni Kenshin anime has an air date of July 6th. Well, you know what? I know what I'll be doing July 5th, celebrating my mom's birthday, but I will add that to the list of things to check out. I was out last night hanging out with a friend that I hadn't seen in a couple of years, and her and I were talking about anime for quite a while. So I might be checking out some new shows based on her recommendations. But Jack White, thank you as always. And thank you. A lot of this, everything from California is being shipped here. It should be here this coming week. And with that is my box of anime and manga, mostly sent from you. So thank you very much, Jack. I appreciate all that you've given us. Adam Walford says, the new streaming service, WCBS, where you can watch old good movies without being charged or changed for snowflakes. Also, number 19. Could you imagine if we had our own streaming platform?
You'd be surprised how easy it is to make one.
Don't tell me these things, because I'm going to figure out how to do it, and we're going to have a streaming platform in 6 months.
No, well, trust me, with I've been doing some research on the side as well, and we can probably do it in about that time. It wouldn't take that long.
Shit, folks, you can sign up for $5 a month to get the WCBS streaming service directly to your phone.
Yeah.
And in the future, we'll have it beamed directly to your brain.
Oh, yeah.
I could just imagine people getting messages from Mr. Cleo in their sleep. Cards don't lie.
Oh my god.
Oh, number 19. What's the number 19 button? All right, here we go.
Hey, felt firm, motherfucker, dick, pussy, snot, and shit. Good night.
I would like to talk to you, Eddie. Jack White also says, fuck, marry, kill Kasumi Ayane from Dead or Alive or Rachel from Ninja Gaiden and check out the anime Psycho Pass. So you only gave us 2 names. So we have Kasumi Ayane from Dead or Alive or Rachel from Ninja Gaiden. I'm going to go with fuck. I'll marry the chick from Dead or Alive because they all have jiggle physics. And I'll fuck the girl from Ninja Gaiden since she only gave me 2, and I'm not about murdering anybody. And I will check out Psycho Pass, Jack. I have been watching a lot of streaming shows lately, so I will check it out. Up next is Xavier DeGod, who says, fuck, marry, kill Jim Carrey's The Mask, Batman Forever, and Kick-Ass Volume 2.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Kill Kick-Ass 2. I mean, he did good in the movie, but he that wasn't his best. Let's see here. Marry the Mask and fuck Batman Forever.
That's exactly mine.
Yeah, because I remember from being a kid, like it was supposed to be Robin Williams, but then they changed it to Jim Carrey.
I don't think Batman Forever is that bad of a Batman movie. There are definitely worse Batman films.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch. Holy Rusted Metal, Batman. Huh? Anyway. The ground, it's holy.
Oh, God, that fucking movie.
Dude, in 1995, that was my favorite movie on the planet. Because I hadn't seen Goldeneye yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jack White says, I sell PS3s that I replace the hard drives in for 1 terabyte on eBay. Anyone who might be interested. You know, Jack, I might be interested in buying one of those.
That's not bad.
Do you have an original model that is fully backwards compatible with PS1, 2, and 3 games? Because if that's the case, you might be getting a message from me going, what's the price? Because I'd love to buy one of those.
Yes, definitely.
So I'm not into like pirating games, but I've been into emulation lately, and there's this new device, not the Steam Deck, but the Republic of Gaming has a handheld that is a little more functional. It has easy accessibility to Xbox Live and a couple other things, and I would love to get a fully I'd love to get a machine that can emulate everything and just hook it up to my TV, because my goal would be to have Bluetooth devices for every controller, and then like PS1, 2, 3, Xbox, as many Xboxes I could emulate, as many Nintendo consoles, and just have all the games and decide what I want to play. That's kind of my dream as a video gamer. Would you guys enjoy something like that?
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would love to have something like that.
All right, Kendo, we'll get some stuff set up for 2025. We'll have every game we want in the future.
What? Yeah, no, I would like one for us where it's all like the 4-player arcade games.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Simpsons,
what are we gonna...
Turtles, X-Men.
You picked my 3 favorite games, so
yeah, like any of those. I forget the castle. There's one that was like a castle one. It was whatever fantasy one. That was like took forever to beat. But yeah, I would like to get something like that, so we could hook up four controllers, hook it up HDMI to the TV, and just play as long as we want to, and unlimited coins and that kind of thing, and just go.
I wish. We're 3 months out from Horror Hound. I feel like we should set something up so when we get together, we can just be like, we haven't seen each other in 2 years. Let's play fucking video games all night and drink beer.
Here we go.
I mean, we're big kids at heart, so it doesn't matter.
That's true. That's very true.
Our friend Empaw says, in Return of the Jedi, Bib Fortuna calls Jabba a wanker. Did you know?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He is a wanker. Prick wanker. Empaws, thank you very much. By the way, folks, I did check out the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi in theaters. It was the best time I ever had watching Return of the Jedi. The big screen does make a difference in some of these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Lofty Pixels Detached PP says,
all right.
Speaking of Nicolas Cage, he is coming to Dead by Daylight.
Yes, yeah. He's getting I think he's becoming one of the Survivor characters. I think I could be wrong, but
awesome.
if you look at the character, it looks like it's like they 3D scanned his face and put it on a fucking avatar. It looks amazing. It looks so good.
I mean, we always joke about doing cocaine with Nicolas Cage, so why wouldn't we play as him in a video game?
True story.
Up next is our friend Mpause again, who says, question for Pimpmaster Dino. Pimpmaster Dino! What celebs would you enjoy pimping out if you could? Dion, I think he fell asleep, to be honest, folks. I apologize for that, but he is a dad, he does have a job, and he's got a lot of responsibilities. So, Pimpmaster Dino might be out for the night, but we'll tell you what celebrities we would pimp out. I would pimp out Amber Heard, because...
she deserves it.
Yeah, thank you. You read my mind.
In that case, Katherine Heigl.
Oh, yeah, she deserves it, too.
Oh, man.
Shit, what's her name? Lena Dunham. And that's just to prove to Dion that the bitch ain't worth no money because nobody wants her.
No. She's not happy either. Bitch ain't happy. Mpause, thank you very much. Guys, remind me to do a Pimpmaster Dino t-shirt for real. Like I said, it'll be a purple dinosaur and a pimp jacket. It'll be fucking cool. TLJ Screwjob, thank you so much. Jeff, what are your 3 favorite artists in general, and then fuck, marry, kill? Alright, so I do love to talk about art since I'm an artist myself. My 3 favorite artists, I'm just going to pick comic artists so I can, be quick about this, or at least enjoyably fast. John Romita Sr., John Buscema, and... I'm going to go John Romita Jr. So if I don't have to fuck, marry, kill those guys, I'm going to marry John Romita Sr., fuck John Buscema, and kill John Romita Jr. Not because he's a bad artist, but I study his art because his storytelling is impeccable. He may draw what people call ugly characters or this and that, but the dude keeps getting better in his age. He's been doing comics for over 40 years now, and he's great. Love him, respect his work, and he just keeps getting better. But if you want to hear me talk about high art or people like that, I enjoy Salvador Dali. I enjoy Da Vinci. He's my favorite traditional artist. I mean, I really gravitate towards the realistic stuff, like the Flemish artists. Basically what I'm trying to say is, if you can capture realism, I'm fascinated by that because that shows a talent and mastery that is so hard to achieve. So that's like what I'm always going for. But in terms of comics, I just want to feel something. Hell, my number 4 would be Jack Kirby, and I can't believe I'm saying this because when I was younger, I didn't think he was as great. But nowadays, I study his work all the time. Before I draw pages of comics, I'll read a Jack Kirby book just to get inspired. So there you go. Empaw says, Captain Kandukin, which president do you think was the most inspiring about what it means to be an American? Tell Pause.
Oh, that's a really good question. Most inspiring about what it means to be an American. I really don't know. I'd have to think about this one.
Can I?
Candidates?
Yeah. Can I give you a couple candidates?
Sure.
JFK and Teddy Roosevelt.
Well, yeah, definitely Teddy. Yeah, Roosevelt for sure. I don't know about JFK though. I feel like his legacy gets blown up a little too much just because of what happened to him. Yeah, I'll just go with TR.
Fair enough.
And,
Fair enough indeed.
You know, honorable mention to George Washington.
The original OG.
Yeah.
Up next, we have a very generous message from our friend Jack White in just a moment. He says, Kendo, who do you hate more, Woodrow Wilson or Marx?
I'm going to go with Woodrow Wilson because Karl Marx was just a shitty philosopher with a shitty philosophy. But if it wasn't for the fact that Woodrow Wilson dragged his feet on getting us into World War I, then we wouldn't have had the rise of the Bolsheviks and the Bolshevik Revolution take place because the war would have been over before that could have happened. Therefore, negating any of the damage that Marx's work could have really done in the 21st century or 20th century.
I'll admit I don't know as much about that portion of history as you do, so I will stand by what you have to say.
Fuck Wilson.
Now, yeah, dude, he's a bastard, man. He's like Dennis. Jack White, thank you very much. He says, Kasumi and Ayane, 2 different characters from Dead or Alive. They're sisters, actually, and I have the original Fat PS3 listed as well as the Slim Supermodels. Dude, the Fat PS3 was fun. It was a thing of beauty. It had so many different... it was like too much machine than we needed in 2006, so...
Actually, yeah, because I think they had a new processor in that one, and I think I remember them, like that was the one that they were using for calculating proteins or whatever. You could have that running in the background with the PS3, and it was like just sitting there doing nothing. And then for some reason they quit doing that. They just stopped. It's like, oh, we're done calculating proteins now. Thank you. It's like, oh, okay. Why did this stop? I think the government is using it as like part of their computer, like a supercomputer tower as well. I remember seeing them on some Navy ship or something and that in a cage, and I was like, what are they doing with this? Why a PS3?
Dude, remember the rumor that Osama bin Laden took a bunch of PlayStation 2s and turned them into a supercomputer?
Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, oh man, I remember the Christmas of the PS3, man. So many got returned to Walmart because like they didn't work, they were faulty. It was also the first time I think a console had like a Blu-ray player in it, so people were all excited about that. Yeah, man, it was crazy.
I had a guy in college ask me for money. At first, I thought he was going to ask me to like borrow money, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm looking to make some extra money. Do you want to buy my PlayStation 3?" So I bought that shit for $180 back in 2007. I was like, "God damn, I got an amazing deal on a PS3," so I bought it right away. And it wasn't the best system ever. Like, some of the multi-plat titles were shittier on it than the Xbox 360, but overall, like, I look back on the PlayStation 3 with rose-colored glasses. There hasn't been a truly terrible PlayStation. But I haven't played the PS5 yet, so it could be garbage. Who knows?
Okay.
Do you have one?
What, PS5?
Yeah.
No, I got a PS4. I haven't hooked up in a while. Probably should hook it up and let it update or whatever, and play some of the games that I'm sure I have with my PS account. So
When my shit arrives, I'll hook my PS4 back up. I don't really play it much, but we should play some PlayStation 4 together.
yeah, no, I'm mainly on the Xbox right now. I've got Dead by Daylight, Evil Dead. I need to get the Dark Pictures game from like fucking last year that I forgot to get. I've just been playing some older stuff and just having fun with that, really. So, I mean, the only new thing I bought was Dead Island 2. So,
what we need to do is play together. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm down with it. Whenever you get yourself hooked up, we'll figure it out.
Jack White says Kasumi is the redhead and Ayane has the purple hair. Guys, if you were going to pick a woman with red hair or purple hair, what would you pick?
Red.
Same.
Because they're a rarity now. Even Hollywood hates them.
Well, I was just going to say, because if she's got purple hair, there's a good chance you're not going to want to hear what she has to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Jerry says, wondering about your shop since I would like to support WCBS community members. Well, folks, we have shopwcbs.com. We're going to be putting up some new merchandise for the summer of bullshit. Like I said, I've moved across the country. I'm waiting for my stuff to arrive. I'm kind of trying to do channel content, draw comic pages, and get acclimated to being back on this time zone. So it's been great. I'm not going to sit and complain. Like, I'm not one of those YouTubers that's going to go, oh, woe is me, I'm so upset. No. Life's pretty solid, and it keeps getting better. So you'll hear more about Shop WCBS. We're going to put out some new designs. Remember, I'm an artist. I've drawn all the pictures you've seen on screen right now. Each one of these icons was artwork by me, as well as the WCBS logo in the background as well. So we do have the propensity to create some great t-shirts, and you know what? We're going to keep creating some great t-shirts. But right now, if you want to get our logo or some of our classic stuff, go to shopwcbs.com right now. Grab yourself a shirt, grab yourself a mug, or because we're going to start the stream soon, get yourself a WCBS beer glass. It's just a couple bucks, and what it does is it gets you a free shout out on every live stream we do. It's like drinking with the boys. They say crack a cold one with the boys. Well, crack a cold one with us, your favorite boys here on the WCBS podcast. So go to shopwcbs.com right now. Get yourself a glass, shirt, sweatshirt. Hell, we'll put some hats out soon. We'll give you guys all the content you want, all the shirts you want, all the stuff you need from WCBS. Shit, now I want to buy a t-shirt. I just sold myself one. So, now guys, this has been a very long, wonderful episode, but I think we've reached the logical conclusion. We only talked about Star Wars and Indiana Jones, but then again, that's what kind of stuff we like to talk about. Yeah. So, Nick, Kendo, is there anything else you'd like to say about this episode before we put this baby officially to bed?
No, I'm good. We're good.
Yeah, man, I'm good.
All right, so folks, check us out. We'll have some videos dropping tomorrow. We had a Miller Lite beer video that had a mistake in it, and rarely do I want to correct stuff because pretty solid about that, but I'm re-uploading the video for tomorrow. I tried to have it uploaded for today, but for some reason YouTube didn't want to do that. So check out our Miss Marvel video, check out that, and I'm going to have 2 more videos dropping tomorrow. So if you want to hear a longer take on the Star Cruiser or as well as the Indiana Jones reviews, check those out tomorrow, and then join us over the weekend. We might have some new stuff, but remember folks, every day is a world-class day here on this channel. So come hang out with us, check out the content, and hang out with us on our live streams. Jack White sends another super chat who says, look up pictures of Ayane and you'll probably change your mind. And she's Kasumi's younger sister and Kasumi's hot. So hold on, we'll look this up. Let's see. Ayumi, dead or alive? Let's see. So she is... I'm trying to just find a picture of her. Alright. She just looks like a character from Ninja Gaiden. But, yeah, she's cool. I'll be honest, because she's not real, it's hard to determine who I'd rather be with. A real woman over a digital woman. But there you go. There's the purple-haired lady. She doesn't look too crazy.
Yeah.
Dead or alive? Let's just see what pops up real quick. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. Actually, when you type in dead or alive, you get the fucking band from the 80s. The people that sing, you spin me right round like a record.
Oh, God, really?
Nice. Yeah, that guy
awesome.
wore an eye patch. He's also very much dead. His name was Pete Holmes. Not Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes?
What was his name? Pete... I can't remember his name. Pete Jones is what we'll call him here on the show. Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Pete Buttigieg is the mayor of some town in Indiana, or at least was.
Well, he's actually the Secretary of Transportation, and he really blows at his job. But that's here and there.
Is that why we don't have buses around here? Thanks, Pete.
Sure, we can blame him for that.
Thank you, Cannon Beltran. Pete Burns. I couldn't remember his goddamn name. So, folks, thank you for watching. We'll be back next time with more, and we'll make sure Dion is alive and well for episode 358 of WCBS. But in the meantime, be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.
.com.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name?
My name is Jeff.